Well, all of Speed Week is getting ready to come to a close as we get ready for the 4th annual NWP 400. From the shootout to the duels and to the LCQ, it all comes down to a beautiful night in Daytona, Florida. I'm John Ramos alongside Jarrett Lumberg. Jarrett, we've been having this event on this date, should we say around this date, since 2021, and every year it gets more exciting. The stories continue to just build themselves, and here we are. We got a lot to talk about in Countdown to Green.
Yeah, 4 years of this now, 4th annual event for the NWP 400, and it seems like every year it just ramps up more and more and more. We saw the intensity in the shootout, in the duels, in the LCQ. We saw what it meant to some drivers to both make this race and miss this race, and all of that, it's kind of just an afterthought now because the big event is on.
Whether this is your first time watching the NWP 400 or the 4th, you understand the prestige of just even taking the grid. The first NWP 400 had an open, and oh boy, was it tough to make it in. The second one ended up just being the best of the 43 and enter night, but when we introduced the duels in 2023, oh, it sparked speed weeks that so many look forward to. Here we are in 2024, 101 drivers got to enter. From over 200 signups, only 43 will take the green flag.
Yeah, and it was tough because this was probably, I'd say, overall of the 100-plus drivers, the strongest field we had going into this, from the fact that how many of them were testing throughout the speed weeks, throughout the months leading up to speed weeks. How many of them made absolute crazy bonsai moves that would have won them any other race in NR, but in this case just wasn't enough. So that intensity, again, only was the first step towards this huge path towards the end of this race.
It's going to be a lot of fun to see. Now let's talk about this car. This is not the same car used in the original NWP 400, but the shell is very like it. Originally, it was a lower horsepower Gen 4 ARCA car at Talladega, where the second you got into the back end of someone, you lift them up. And then once the rear tires came up, there's no controlling it. Watch back to the LCQ here. This is Nathan Dew getting in the back end of the Ford machine of James Thurston. He hits him a ton, and Thurston was able to save it all week long from speed weeks. It's been testing of what's the limit of pushing and shoving. This aero package is like nothing we have had before.
And what it gives is a little bit of leeway. It's not like the Gen 6 that we saw last year where you just slam draft the entire way around and have really no problem whatsoever. You still have that ragged edge you have to kind of skirt on, but you have a bit of a buffer room this time, and that's really helped a lot of these drivers. We saw it just now, and we saw it throughout the duels and shootout. Different guys pretty much push each other down the back stretch and the front stretch, even the corners at different points, and be able to go out the other end still running fine.
And that's what's exciting about this. The handling has changed as well. You will see them clocking 206, 207 under the Daytona lights, but at the same time, you will see handling become a big talking point. 25 laps into a run, 30 laps into a run, and the fuel window has been blown up. What are we looking at? 45 to 50 laps after the next gen can maybe get to at max of 42? Insane changes from just the last couple of e-tickets.
Well, and we saw it in the duels, what we had strategy finishes. At the end of, I believe it was it duel 1 or 2? I can't remember which one off the top of my head.
Both of them had crazy strategy finishes, but the first one showed if you didn't save at all during the run, you were out. Duel 2, you had to save from the gun.
Yeah, and with that, I mean, you had guys right on the ragged edge. We saw a transfer in basically on fumes after a crash. So you're going to have that added element this time that we didn't have last year, where you're going to have to be cognizant and mindful of the strategy, of your fuel window, all of that, because this race could go green a long time.
It could go green, and I mean in a heartbeat. We've seen it before. Let's continue to speak on the track conditions. It was 123 to 130 degrees on the track surface for the duels. but it's going to be down into the 90s for the track surface. All this worry about, will a third lane get working at all? I think we're going to see it here tonight, but they're really going to have to be smart, and working together is going to be key to finding that top spot.
Well, and they can also be really, really aggressive as well. They don't have to maybe lay back as much as they did when you had that hot, slick track, because you're going to be able to have that grip throughout the run a little further in. So I think that's going to add into a lot of this racing and a lot of the elements actually meaning something in this race.
And what's really cool is that every single time we've had an NWP 400, there has been a talking point nobody has even considered speaking upon that became a part of the event. This year, I would not be surprised if that is the case. Jared, I'm going to start with mine, and I'm going to say it. No one has talked about the big one. Nobody has talked about anything but strategy. I think tonight comes down to a shootout between the last final 5 laps of the race.
I think it can, because this race has, no matter what the outlook of it has been before, whether it's, oh, this is going to be a rock fest, or, oh, this is going to be slam drafting, or, oh, anything else in the middle of new car models, any of that. It always has ended out being a duel at the end.
That's going to...
Whether it be like last year. Last year, I think it was an 8 or 9 lap duel to the finish, or the first year, we went through, what, 3, 4 green, white checkers? It was a lot.
Yeah, you just couldn't tell. And that's the difference between what was and what is now. You wreck, you're done. If this is your first time watching NR Night in America, watching an e-ticket event, there is no fast repairs. If you mistakenly put your car in the wall, you lower your speed because you destroyed the nose, you hurt the engine, that's on you, and you got to deal with it for 400 miles. Underdog, underdog, underdog. It has been a staple of this event since the get-go. No one thought Moriarty was going to win. Wyatt Tinsley, even though he won multiple times in NR Night leading up to the second e-ticket for the NWP, he was not seen as a favorite. Dean Brummett, nobody knew who Dean Brummett was entering the duels. He snuck through when he went quick time into the Fast Four. But then come race time, everyone's wondering, who's Dean Brummett? Why is he up there with 12 laps to go? Who's the underdog for this event?
I mean, there's a lot to look at. I'm looking at the starting grid right now, and the biggest underdog for me going into this is, I don't want to give away too much about my picks just yet.
Okay.
But the biggest underdog going into this is Mr. Irrelevant, Nathan Dew back there.
Ooh.
He's somebody to watch. He's someone really, really to watch in this race. Ran very fast, played it smart, kind of lucky in the LCQ. I see him as somebody to watch from 43rd.
I'm excited to see what Nate can do. I think Nate's going to be really strong, but you know who my guy is? Ethan Ecker. And no one can change my mind. I've been talking about it in the Discord consistently throughout all the speed weeks. He did well in the shootout to make it to the duels. He won a duel. And if you don't know who Ethan Eckert is, let's go ahead and let you know. He has a terrible reputation, not just in this community, but in multiple communities upon iRacing. I told Eckert, if you're going to be a part of this event, you need to come with your A game. I have seen nothing but the best from the driver, the number 18. He is going to be so strong here tonight. Winning capabilities, who knows? Honestly, who knows? But you can't just tell me after winning a duel that he is not seen as one of the best underdogs to possibly get their first e-ticket win.
Yeah, I mean, he could. Lane Sanders, another one that really could pop up there. He ran pretty well in all the races that he was a part of as well. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of comers and goers in this. I'll tell you something else that they might be overlooking a little bit. Restarts.
Oh, this can be huge.
Yeah, they are going to be really, really big. You're going to want to get that jump, especially if it becomes one of those long, drawn-out green flag races. Getting in position early in the run, way, way better than having to slide your way in line late in the run, possibly having to pit soon.
You know what? I think it's that time of the night. Jarrett, let's get to the best part of Countdown to Green. It's the picks. We have each an underdog and who the Fast Four will be. You lead it off.
All right, well, my underdog has led the most laps during Speed Week so far. Granted, had a little more time to do that, but still has run up front in almost every single lap he's been in. Give me Ethan Eckert.
Wow.
I think he's somebody who is being slept on. He's starting 5th. He's on the bottom, row 3. I wouldn't sleep on him just yet.
I like that. I like that pick, and I just previously mentioned why I love that pick. He's going to be tough, and when I get into my underdog pick, you're going to say, is he truly an underdog? And let me explain why after I say Michael Mitchum, ladies and gentlemen, the underdog. He's got a new scheme, a new number. Michael Mitchum showed sparks of life in the USA 500. That was last November. And he's won here and there. He beat Anthony Burroughs in an NR night. That was Xfinity at Charlotte. He's gone up with the big wigs, toe-to-toe, finishing up inside the top 3. But every time we mention who can win an e-ticket event, it's the same names all the time. They always leave out Michael Mitchum. He reminds me of William Schmidt when he won his first e-ticket at Homestead Miami Speedway. Give me Mikey to possibly get it done.
I think he fits when it comes to the underdog just because he's overlooked. He's really overlooked when it comes to favorites.
Oh, yeah.
But going to favorites, this guy, I think, is really fast in the draft. He's good at keeping his car out of trouble, and he is the defending winner of this race, Dean Brummett. Give me Dean Brummett in this race. I think that 07 car is going to be up front tonight.
And he's back in that number. Originally, that was not supposed to be his number. That was supposed to be with Max Swearigan. Brummett, as you guys know, he had a kid. He has the wife. He has the family watching back at home. Said, I want to be a part of this event again. And we said, hey, there may be a number and a scheme just waiting for you. That Soprano Chevrolet, I think it's going to be pretty quick.
Same here, man. That's why I got him in my top 4.
Let's talk about it. How about a driver that's won an e-ticket event, but you probably don't remember him for winning an e-ticket event? How about a driver that took a long hiatus, but when he came back, he was not shown the level of respect an e-ticket winner usually gets, so he had to earn it. And earn it he did by winning multiple super speedway races. Give me Frank Corley, the driver of the Deuce. Every time we have an e-ticket, I always look at who's driving that number 2. They're going to be quick. And in this case, Frank Corley has never won a race on anything but a super speedway. Put him Daytona trucks, he's going to be up front. Daytona Xfinity, Gen-4, anything on a super speedway, he's going to be a big contender. I think Team T has got their flagship driver tonight.
5 of them, 5 super speedway wins on his part in NR. And as for my next pick, I'm going to go with the professionals on this one. I'm going to go Malik Ray. He helped set the pace in his duel, was really, really fast. And he was probably taking it easy from the looks of it as well. So I think that 48 is going to be up there.
Malik Ray is going to be really strong, and he's shown to be polarizing, 100%. The first e-ticket Malik Ray did was in Auto Club. That was for the California 500 back in December. And he looked at some drivers in NR9 and said, you guys could be Coke ready. Well, guess what? Malik Ray is back, and he's eyeing that $600. It's really hard to be against any of these picks, Jarrett. Sometimes we'll go, oh, I don't know about that one, but the thing about Daytona is you just never know. And with that being said, I have to go for a driver that has been so close. The closest out of anyone that has taken to the racetrack at the World Center of Racing. Give me Drew Jua. I have the die-cast. I had this die-cast for a couple years, and it's not the reason why Drew is running tonight in this car. I just happened to see it last night, and I was like, whoa. Well, I have this diecast. Drew Jua's racing. It's going to be great. He's going to be a strong driver. He did well at Talladega. He almost won the Florida 500. He has been strong ever since. Drew is due, baby. And give me that 5 to possibly go to victory lane.
Very solid pick, but there's somebody else. He's my number 2 pick right now who I think can be pretty darn good. He barely beat Drew Jua. Give me Daniel Mosteller in that 9 Coke car. I mean, he's won the last 2 super speedway e-tickets. He's the winningest NR driver by a wide margin. I don't see how you can't have him in your fast 4.
He was a big talking point early in Speed Weeks. Matter of fact, before we even took to the track for Speed Weeks, and it wasn't for his speed, it wasn't for what he was doing, it's because he kept changing the sponsor. Originally it was Fanta, then Fanta, I believe it was Cherry at one point, then Orange. It just kept going all over the place, and it finally went, Demos, everyone knows you as the Coke guy. And then Chase Elliott came out with the Coke car, and people were saying in NASCAR's DMs, hey, that's Daniel Mosteller. I said, marketing.
Yep.
Yeah, here it is, Daniel Mosteller. So for that reason alone, he is not the reason why I think he is going to be the second best tonight. I think it's because of what he has been able to do, and that is execution. Give me Daniel Mosteller to get his 3rd e-ticket event win as a number 2 pick. It's going to be close. It's going to be tough for him. But if he is up there late, you know he's got a dang good shot.
I mean, he's one of 4 drivers in this field who could get their 3rd e-ticket win. One of only 2 drivers in this field that'll start in all 4 NWP 400s. But I got my pick here. I'm going to go with Drew Jua. He's due. Drew is due right here.
Drew is due, baby.
Give me that 5 car right here. Give me that 5 car. I think he's going to win it. He lost by 100th of a second back in February. It was just one door slam too many for him. I don't think that he has that problem. I think he wins. He did really, really good in Duel 2. Won that duel. I think he's the favorite.
You know what, Jarrett? I love history. I love prestige. I love when drivers go out there and they get it done. They know how to get it done on any given Friday, Tuesday night. But there's been a driver that's been around since the beginning, the dawn of NR, so the dawn of this e-ticket event. Matter of fact, he has one e-ticket event win, and very few remember it because it wasn't the big show. But here's a driver that opened the year off in 2024 at NR Night in America with a win, and he couldn't stop winning. He kept going and going and going, and I'm telling you tonight, the bottles will be popped. With Kevin Champagne in the Mac Tonight 94 car. Give me him to get a second e-ticket event. I'm telling you, it just sounds like a great storybook. He has been so strong on anything he's been able to touch. Kevin Champagne, very few are talking about him. I think they're going to be talking about him by the time we see the checkered flag.
I think he'll be up there with that aggression that he always races with, a bit more give that this car has too. I think it fits into his driving style really, really well tonight.
It's going to be a lot of fun to see. You know what? We had a conversation with Eric, and he said, I've been watching these events for quite some time. He knows a lot about what this event means to others. Let's go talk with Eric Estep and give you a rundown on what Speed Weeks has been about this entire running for the 2024 NWP 400.
Nichols is gonna win the shootout. Trafari is in. Eckert is in. Whoa, he blew up. Nichols down to the inside, and they're wrecking. The caution waves in Duel 1. Garza 15. Eckert 18. Ethan Eckert is gonna win Duel 1 at Daytona. McKinney is in.
Truel is the last one in that 28.
He can't make it. He's out. He's out. He's in 19th. Zachary Truel is maybe 25 yards from a transfer spot. Did he make it? He does. Zachary Truel is in. Gray in second. Chua the racer. They run. They spin out. Truther slides. Drew Chua victorious in Duel 2.
Everyone's heart is racing, getting ready to pound through their chest because it's go or go home season in NR Night. 3 wide look.
Beckman and a Truther. Truther goes around right in the middle of the field with a caution away. Nathan Dew trying to see if the glass slipper can fit. Top shelf. Here they come. Side by side on turn 4. Who will transfer into the NWP 400? It's going to be Nathan Dew. Nathan Dew wins the LCQ and will make the main event.
Who would have thought an event started in 2021 would become a staple of the iRacing community 3 years later? This blockbuster tetralogy has been the big summer finale for so many race fans worldwide. Welcome to the 2024 NWP 400. As we are moments away from rolling off the grid, let's look back on what shaped this e-ticket event. Just a couple of months after NR Night was formed, an idea was struck to combine this rising community with a well-known podcast that's been the heart of NASCAR on YouTube. Ideas for the event were thrown around from the COT at Talladega to the Next-Gen at Daytona. But after 2 previous events with the World Center of Racing, it would be Talladega that would kickstart this long tradition. For year 2, the event would head to Daytona Beach, where the tradition of the track stands with a different car rotation per year. Then it was the Gen 6, where a wholesome winner won the hearts of oh so many.
Running on the bottom, Schmidt gets tagged. Dean Brummett, victorious in the 3rd ever NWP 400.
Names like Mason Moriarty, Wyatt Tinsley, and Dean Brummett have all grabbed glory on NR Night's biggest stage. But getting to that point saw big names fall in an attempt to take victory.
And look at those names that missed. But Tyler Tinsley, Carlos Truther, Will Shack.
This race has always been unpredictable. Just making the show is half the battle. It baffles so many how drivers you never knew upset regulars who win so often.
It's so common because super speedways, in a way, are an even playing field for a lot of people within the field. So if you have draft knowledge, even if you're an underdog who normally doesn't run up front, if you know the draft well, it gives everyone a shot, which is why you see veterans missing the field so much.
The duels are a level playing field, and it gives everyone the same fair opportunity, which puts the more experienced drivers under pressure and causes them to crack under pressure.
62 guys in there, and obviously you're racing against the best of the best in an R night. It's not easy. I mean, on lap 1 it was almost over for me when Niegels blew his engine in front of everybody. I was in that wreck and I thought, man, did all that work just to get wrecked out on lap 1. Basically anybody was letting an e-ticket in 2021. Now in 2024 we got pro leaguers in here, we got guys with like 6,000 iRating. It's a lot tougher, and yeah, I won the Daytona 400, but like at the same time, that race had nowhere close to as much competition as this one's gonna have.
Here we are, August 20th, 2024. The sun setting at Daytona as the best of the best take to the stage. Over 200 signups, 101 entries, down to the final 43 drivers. After 160 laps, we could see the most popular driver, the polarizing driver, the underdog, the new guy, the veteran, win the NWP 400. Let's write the next chapter together as it's showtime from Daytona, Florida.
The drivers have filed in. It's time to go racing in the biggest e-ticket of 2024. It is the 2024 NWP 400. Jarrett, final thoughts.
I mean, we've talked about this event since the last one back in 2023. We've been hyped up for it, talking about, you know, the new car, new packages, new speed weeks, new everything. And now only what, a minute, 2 minutes away from getting the cars all on track, ready to go, getting them rolling. I'm excited. I am really, really excited. We've been talking about this on NWP, which you can catch tomorrow night on Danny B's channel. We've been talking about it for months on there too, and now finally getting to it. I can't wait. I am just excited is the biggest word that I can really spew out there.
Well, get it. 39 seconds. They're calling the drivers to their cars. 39 seconds until we are trackside. 160 laps. 400 miles. And it's going to all come down to this. The e-ticket hopes and dreams are live for 43, but they'll be gone for 42 when that checkered flag waves. Welcome to the World Center of Racing. I'm John Ramos alongside Jarrett Lumberg as we get ready to gear up for the 2024 NWP 400. Let's go trackside. You saw them practicing. One last opportunity to make something work, to find that limit. It's all about finding the limit at Daytona. It's all about working together, and it's all about getting ready. As the red flag has been displayed, the track is going cold for the time being as they get ready to grid on up. You see it on the left side of your screen. 160 laps of grueling action is waiting, not just for you, but for everyone watching around the world. This event means so much to so many. An Ethan Eckert win is possible. A Braden Movick win is possible. How about Aaron Smith? Aaron Smith reminds me of someone just last year, Dean Brummett, not talked about at all, outside row number 1. Let's get to it. Here's your starting lineup, race fans, for the 2024 NWP 400. Left side of your screen, Jackson Carr and Aaron Smith. They're lined up row number 1. Carr is known for starting up front. Same with Smith. But Braden Movick and Daniel Mosteller start up there in row number 2.
Got Ethan Eckert on row number 3, winner of Duel 1. Drew Jua, winner of Duel 2. And Garza and Ray, row 4 as well. And rounding out top 10, Thornquist Barbagallo. Thornquist, another one of those 4 drivers looking to win their 3rd e-ticket event tonight.
Gonna be a lot of fun to see what Garza and Ray can do. Chad Thornquist, Dominic Barbagallo, that's row 5. You head back to row 6. Jaden Reyna, William Schmidt. They're gonna be tough to beat. 2 underdogs in that line. Jaden Reyna already a couple wins this year. And I gotta give it to old Kevin Champagne of that number 94. He's lined up with Gavin Austin.
You got Kenny Reel in that old Dale Jr. number 8 car, and Lewis in the old Mayfield Mountain Dew. Your underdog pick, Michael Mitchum, lining up next to Todriff in row 9.
Can't keep an eye away from Jason Tamer in the 21. He is great on those 2-mile ovals, but he's going to have to defend off Frank the Tank. Frank DeAngelo's back there in row 10. Sean Conklin will be running with the number 40 Silver Bullet. He's got James Bowmar on the 20, just sitting alongside him.
And as we get more towards the middle of the pack here, you got Douglas Newbigging sitting alongside Skylar Comstock, and Frank Horley, River Page got some work to do from row 13.
Lane Sanders is here. He's on the scene. He was one of those drivers that'll work his way through the shootout to arrive in the main event. He's got Trafari on the outside, both those drivers from the shootout. James Yusa and Yaroslav Donskoy, the lone driver outside the United States. Donskoy racing from Russia.
And rolling into row 16, we've got Christian Delgado and Jacob Malone in row 16. Dean Brummett, defending winner of this event, lines up row 17, 33rd on the grid next to Gavin Gomez.
He's got Hornish, that is Chad Hornish behind him with Samuel Huff, row 18. Xander McKinney lined up with Terrell Baker back there in the 19th row. Can't leave out Zachary Truel, Dale Greenwood. They have some work to do. They want to go to victory lane.
And rounding out the field, we got Josh Kenyon and Corey Lyles in row 21, and Mr. Irrelevant Nathan Dew, winner of the LCQ, in row 22.
Well, if you can see right now, there's a little bit of a haze as the sun continues to set. The lights are not fully illuminated at the World Center of Racing just yet, but the temperature a whole lot different than what we had. The track temp is down to 78. Huge difference compared to the 130 that we had there in the duels. 75 degrees, but the humidity at 90. That's why you see a little bit of that moisture sitting in the air, but not enough to get us a delay. Keep that in mind. We're going green all the way. Time to get at it. Next time by, we will see the one to go. The final check for all the drivers lined up. You see Braden Movick already peeking down to the inside. Big names, beautiful schemes, all tagging along. The overlays are on. The drivers are ready to go. The sun is ready to set. And we will be ready to go green. You always get that feeling when the cars are rolling up. Oh, it's time. You know, here we are. And we are ready to go. Jared, are you feeling that same thing?
Oh, I am definitely feeling it. And it's because of so many of the new things that are going on in this race, too. I mean, you just talked about Braden Movick. This is his first NWP 400 since the original back in 2021. He missed the last 2 years.
Crazy to think that a driver that has 2 e-ticket events, one has missed this event so many times. We get the one to go this time by. I start looking around. I say Dominic Barbagallo, he's got a win this year at Daytona. That was with the Next-Gen. Chad Thornquist, not a lot talked about him. Chad's going to be really tough to keep an eye on for. I originally almost had him in the picks, but the last couple of events, he has not been able to get it done. Can Chad break the spell and go to victory lane? We got 160 laps to find out.
Oh, and that row 1. I mean, we're not even really talking about Aaron Smith, Jackson Carr. Jackson Carr wins the pole or near the pole pretty much every super speedway. We're not even mentioning them yet.
It's going to be a lot of fun to see. We're good to go. Lights are off on the top of the pace car when it crosses that finish line, which means it is 1 to go for this year's NWP 400. All the great viewers back at home, if you're a member, spam the icon of the driver you think is going to go to victory lane. Most importantly, spam those green icons when we go green flag racing. 43 drivers littering the exit of the tri-oval before they climb the intense baking into turns 1 and 2. Everyone's got a story. Everyone's got a reason to be here. Lock and load. Who will get their third or who will get their first? Is a second e-ticket on the horizon for some? Or is it going to be that doom and gloom? Long green flag runs, or will it be a sprint to the finish? All the questioning, all the wondering, the thoughts will come down to just this moment.
John, I don't know why, because I'm not in this race, but I got those butterflies in my stomach right now. I'm kind of nervous, and I shouldn't be. This is a field that has 313 combined NR wins. I don't know why I'd feel nervous about it. These guys are the best of the best going into it.
And the best part, it's going to be electric as it's always been. Lights off, which means the pace car will be making the hard left on pit road this time by. We've seen a Chevy win this event. We've seen a Toyota win this event. We've never seen a Ford, we've never seen a Pontiac, and we've never seen a Dodge win the NWP 400. Multiple e-tickets have been run since the dawn of this community. Here we sit to add another one to the tally. But will this be one of those events that you remember for a long time? I think that answer will be yes. Let's get ready to go green. Crowd on their feet. Jackson Carr, Aaron Smith, Braden Movick. Packed house from the World Center of Racing gives us a gift that keeps on giving. Welcome to the 2024 NWP 400 as we light the fuse from the World Center of Racing. Race leader on the bottom will have help from Braden Movick. Gets the nose out in front. Smith with Moss Dillard mostly unchanged.
See Yusa in the back, heading to the back, while up front, Smith takes the lead into the corner. Carr even with him through 3.
And nobody wants to try that third lane, at least for the moment. It's all about looking at the eyes of 160. Back to the line. Who wants to lead lap 1? Jackson Carr, 44. Aaron Smith, 70. Aaron Smith will be leading the first lap of this race with a shove from the 9 behind.
Not for long, though. Jackson Carr getting another push from Braden Movick. Barely gets up to the door again, looking towards the back. This field still 2 by 2 for the most part.
Nobody wants to jostle out of line just yet. Jackson Carr downstairs. Braden Movick's going to be a big ally. He's already got Ethan Eckert lined up with him, but no one's really talked much about Adam Garza. He's been consistent. He's been strong, and already early on, I think he's going to be a big ally, not just for the 42, if he can find a way around the Eckert 18, but for a Chad Thornquist and a Jaden Reyna, keeping on the 15, still very early.
Still, that 42 has proven to be a strong pusher. Gets that 44 to the lead. Not for long, though. Smith leads again by a nose.
Checkmate gets 2 on the board. Lined in 2 by 2, 3 wide towards the back half of the field. Already starting to see it. That's going to be Connor Trafari dropping back. River Page in the 26 will slot on in. Frank Horley was back there with Lane Sanders. These are really the drivers that went for the strategy call in the duels, and they've got the payout for making the e-ticket event, but they're already losing early on because they're stuck in the minefield.
Yeah, and you see Trafari up at the top again. He was one of the most aggressive guys in all of Speed Weeks. He's trying the high side, going straight to the back, probably playing the strategy play for now.
Gavin Austin up to 14. Jaden Reyna just outside the top 10. Smith topside. He'll continue to be that dominating force that continues to run. Keep an eye on Douglas Newbiggie and others. You're not seeing that breakaway that some expected, where it was 2 or 3 distinct groups then circling the racetrack. Oh, it's still one group up front. You already saw the big mistake out of Braden Movick.
Yeah, very almost costly mistake. And Daniel Mosteller takes the lead with a push from Drew Jua and Malik Ray.
These two have history. Remember, they went toe-to-toe for the Florida 500. They're now going to be wheel-to-wheel off turn 4 for the NWP 400. Malik Ray top shelf. He's got the Chevrolet in line as Mosteller will lead him back to the tri-oval.
5 and 48 were best friends in their duel, drafting 1-2 to the finish. Jua now back where he was first.
Allies, allies, allies. And the thing about Malik Ray and Drew Jua, they've raced on this service for so long together. When Ray came in, he was looking at the lineup sheet and wondering, who can I work with? Who can I trust? Drew Jua was the big one he had circled, and off the gun, he's back with the 5.
But it's going to be hard to beat Mosteller. He fights back on the bottom. 5, 48, high side, all get a run down the backstretch. Jua switches lines. He's going to block, goes back up for a moment, going to stay with Demos.
He questioned it. He wondered if he wants to stick with Ray. I wouldn't be surprised if he swipes back to the outside to pick up the 48. Won't happen. Malik Ray will lead the outside lane with Drew Jua on the bottom, working 6 laps into this race. Middle of the pack, Jaden Reyna, no change. It's still 3 wide, Connor Trafari. It's going to be the 2x2 game for quite some time. Strategy, strategy, strategy. Yes, it's early. Yes, they're getting into a rhythm, but if some drivers can bring it 50 laps and we go green, they still can't make it to the end of the race. Keep that in mind. If someone tries to get bold, they're going to have to be really in that hard save mode the entire event.
Well, Barbagallo's got bold with his bumps. He's got Malik Ray out to the lead, and again, you see, going down to the bottom, picking up Jua, going to get a good run off the corner this time. Garza coming to give him the push.
He's got him lined up, nose to tail, wheel to wheel. Mostly the top 10, top 15. You see the top 20 lined in as well. Top side, that's going to be the Gavin Austin machine, lined up with Braden Movick. And some of the drivers that started on the inside have already worked to the top, while others have shuffled to the bottom. It's been busy up front, but it's still with that controlled aggression. On the move, William Schmidt, he's up to 6.
Yeah, and we're used to him coming up later in the race. He's our closer. This time he's drafting right up towards the front. Still, Barbagallo has the edge a little bit. Ray gets the run through 3.
All lined in, 2x2 still. Barbagallo on the outside. Now let's see if Adam Garza is going to really work with this 17. All the talk has been about you can shove, you can bump, but some drivers are still a little worried about what that move is. You already saw Garza just lift up the rear end of the Dodge, and it's got Barbagallo fighting for the top spot.
Yeah, but he couldn't clear going into 1, and that gives Ray the edge. He's going to clear for a moment. Top side working up that run again.
All lined in, no change, still up front. This time Malik Ray's your race leader. Where's Jackson Carr? He led this race up front. I don't think he grabbed a lap over Aaron Smith. Carr's back to 9th, make it 10th. Smith is back into the 8th machine, or should we say the 8th spot. He's lined up with Daniel Mosteller on the inside.
And how about Gavin Austin moving his way forward up into the top 10 right behind Schmidt and Braden Movick. But up front, Malik Ray has control of this field, just going back and forth a little bit, working with Drew Jua, and it's keeping him at the front.
I'm looking at the left side of my screen. That one driver that started in the top 20 is way back. Here's Frank DeAngelis. He's lined up with Douglas Newbigin. Now, Doug made this strategy call in the Florida 500, and it did not work. When he wanted to move forward, he was blocked by 3 rows of machines. These drivers are thinking that it's going to get really aggressive and the storm may be brewing. They're going to drop to the back end of the field, sit here just for the time being, and try to make a late race charge.
Well, and we saw that in the duels, there could be that shuffle up towards the front. We saw at the start of the duels, there was a shuffle up front, but it's going to be difficult. You can't be the person that waits till 20 to go to move towards the front, and so practicing early, that might be the way to go.
On your screen, Kenny Reel. He was in the hospital 3 hours ago. He got checked and released just before this event, fell ill just a little bit early after the duels, and Walt won on the apron. That's the 40.
Saves it.
Sean Conklin.
He saved it, though. There was a bit of an accordion effect around where Reel was. The bottom line just slowed up, and you see them all scattered.
We're going to watch out for the fact that handling machinery is going to be very tough here tonight. If you have an ill-handling race car, you're going to have to make those adjustments quick, or you're going to be on the back end of the stick. It all started really with Kenny Reel. This happened to be when we're watching on to the inside. Malik Ray wants nothing to do with this front group. Oh, he's blinking, and he is having serious internet issues, already piloting the 48 to the back end of the field.
Smart move to stay safe, not cause a big crash. That hands the lead over to Garza and Schmidt battling. They're 3 wide towards the back with others getting shuffled in this melee, this mess. And you're seeing others just bailing out. Demos, Thornquist, 2-time E-ticket winners bailing out of the pack.
And they don't like what they see up front. They're looking at the same thing we're seeing. They see Schmidt, Muddick, they trust them, but Garza, Lewis, Barbagalo, Mitchum, they've known for being very aggressive. Speaking of aggression, Kevin Champagne rips it 3 wide, but he's not going to get any help.
Yeah, you're going to need a lot of help to make that third line work. It's been difficult all through speed weeks to do so, and a single car up there is just going to go right to the back.
All topped in. Jackson Carr, he started up front. He's back to 13. Kevin Champagne was trying to make hay around the outside lane. He's back to 14. Gavin Gomez has clocked the top 15. Comstock, Gavin Austin, and Drew Jua is right in the thick of the top 10.
And look who is at the tail end of this lead pack, kind of going underneath Kevin Champagne. Nathan Dew from 43rd starting spot all the way up into the top half of the field.
And the Dew crew has been quick. Remember, once again, shotgun up to 21st. And he's on a roll and really quick. He's looking professional. Why is he in the meme machine? I said, Nate, I'm going to be honest, coming to this event, nobody is going to know who you are. So might as well give you a car that would make you stand out. It worked for Kenny Reel, and it's working right now for the Dew crew.
Tell you who it's not working for, it's Kevin Champagne. He is going straight to the back after being shuffled out on the high side. Up front now, the battle between Braden Mubbick and William Schmidt. Mubbick wanting to lead. He hasn't been in this race since 2021. He wants to lead it more.
Look at the pushing. Schmidt on the inside. That's help from Garza, and as predicted, you can push, you can shove in this Gen-4 stock car. Was a huge sigh of relief the first time they went hot track back in late July. And here you see the speeds. They have definitely picked on up, but after 13 laps, they're still clocking well over 200, near that per se, across the tri-oval.
And shout out to Lewis now up to the 4th spot, pushing Braden Mubbick, trying to fight for the lead. He's got Schmidt and Garza underneath him, but those top fighting lines up there, they're still keeping pace.
Jacob Malone up there into the 8th position, outside with Jason Tamer. And some drivers, they got what they wanted. They were up there. They got their TV time. They're thinking long term. But also the drop back is the fine buddies, fine teammates that you know you can work with. Looking up and down this hill, we know Schmidt and Mubbick, if they can defend and hold on to the top 2 spots, they're going to be happy. Lewis is aggressive very late in the race. Garza aggressive very late in the race. But historically, they have been the ally to all within the first 15, 16 or so laps. Showing right now. Chevy Toyota dogfight with a Dodge and Chevy pushing along.
And early on, 15 laps into this race is giving kind of the same look that the duels did early on, where these guys get used to it, they're ready to go, they know where their limit is, and they just fight for position throughout, while you have pretty much everyone from about 25th on back just holding the line and staying safe. There goes Trafari again on the high side, not going to work, but you're seeing the moves that everyone's making. 3 wide up the middle. That is Conklin in the 40. Going to make that move work too.
I wonder if Trafari is struggling to get to that inside. He saw Baker, probably saw an opening, but couldn't get to the bottom. Yaroslav Donskoy in the 46 towards the back half of the field. He's now forced to shuffle down. So instead of 2 or 3 distinct groups breaking up and racing around, it's the main group. This is, let's call it the mothership up front, with just a straggler, single file, and a parade behind, watching and waiting. Now, why is that? If it's an or night in America, you can go as far back as you want. Go as many laps down as you want. It's not going to affect you, because if the caution comes out, you can get those laps back. But in an e-ticket event, you go 1 lap down, you better be in a lucky dog or a wave around position, because you will not get that lap back unless you put yourself in the best spot.
Well, and you're starting to see a couple others. I believe that's Mitchum, 3rd in line on the high side, who's kind of ducking out a little bit, whether it's to get a little air on the grill, maybe to try and build up a run when they get out of the corners, whatever it is. He's definitely taking a bit of a different line than the rest of the guys up in the high.
Check that. Skylar Comstock up to the 8th spot. Jason Tamer, Drew Jua, Gavin Gomez. Gomez was a huge hot driver in June and July of 2021. He is racing from LSU right now, hanging out, having a great time. He's back, and he said making the show was going to be huge. I told him you have to win in 2024 if you want to have a shot. He won, currently just outside the top 10.
Yeah, but holding a pretty wheel so far, not really doing anything too far out of line. Up front, keeping it in line. That's Braden Lubbock. He is solely leading this race.
He's got the inside lane.
Oh,
trouble. One spinning, that's the 40.
I think he got the Dean Brummett as well.
Sean Conklin goes for a slide to the inside, and the caution will wave.
Yeah, that is Brummett down low in the 07. And we saw earlier that 40 had issues when it came to handling through the pack.
Former winner of this event, heavy damage to the right side, and you see the damage on the Silver Bullet. Man, that Dodge took one heck of a hit.
Yep.
And they started to really slide around a lot more than some expected. By lap 10, they were already icing and dicing for Sean Conklin, who is really good with the Next-Gen, the Xfinity Series on a road course. Not what he expected for the start of this year's NWP 400.
I'm interested to see if maybe it was like a bump draft gone wrong, or if he just made the wrong move in the pack, or what it was. But that car just seemed to just kind of jump right out of line way quicker than it normally would.
Let's take a look back and see what exactly started it. We saw it was off the exit of the trial. Here's Conklin. Blind in. I'm not seeing any big changes, but I am seeing internet now being an issue for some. Now, it was talked about earlier that Windows updated or gave everyone an update for the driver. I think it was just a chain reaction with Dale Greenwood.
Yeah, I think towards maybe 2-3 cars ahead of him, I saw him starting to check up, and it might have been Trafari in the 41 got into the back of the 40, and from there it was just on.
Watch again. This time with a different angle. Let's try it on board with the 40.
Yeah, you'll see up ahead, I believe it was that 33 car that kind of got a little bit jostled, and that's just sort of what kind of made this chain reaction.
See the sparks. Big checkup. You see.
Yeah, he got jacked up in the back.
Yeah, he got slammed in the back end. I think it started with Dale Greenwood. When Greenwood checked up, you saw Baker forced to check up. And then there was just really nowhere else to go from there.
I don't think too much major damage, though, for either of them. But watch the 41 just sort of piles into it.
Did Baker get in the back end of the 33? Because that was a really weird slide for Dale Greenwood. And all this look at the 40. What about Dean Brummett? Did he slam the inside wall at all? I don't believe he did.
I think he kept his foot in it and stayed away.
Yeah, he kept it off. No harm, no foul. Maybe for some. I think for Sean Conklin, it's going to be the hole that he's really going to have to dig himself out of for quite some time now, just 20 laps into this race. Frank DeAngelis, Trevor Huff, that will be the top two. Daniel Mosteller, Braden Lubbock will be the top four. Don't be surprised if the top two come to pit road, let's say this time by, because we're about to get the one to go.
Yeah, I think top four might actually all pit and just stick together, because the 9 and the 42, the 42 might not pit, but the 9, at least, of Mosteller, he had pretty much put himself outside the top 30, just playing it safe.
Looking around this field, left side of your screen, Malik Ray, who led a portion of this race back there in 20th, will shuffle up to the 18th position. Douglas Newbigging back there in 25th, Baker. And from what we're hearing reports, nobody has exited the racetrack. There's Chad Thornquist. He will restart in the 42nd spot. Sean Conklin, they actually got that car fixed, and the Dodge is off and away.
So no harm, no foul.
Pit road is open. You see the Ford and the Dodge. And they're coming in. Daniel Mosteller is going to join that line as well. He's going to drop to the back. We'll get the one to go. So it'll be Braden Lubbock, Dominic Barbagallo lined up in row 1 with Davis Lewis and Adam Garza with row number 2.
All right. You got all the jitters out of the way. You got that initial start out of the way. We talked about it in the pre-race. Might not have been looking too much at it because of the long green runs. These restarts are going to be important.
Yeah, they're going to be very important. And let's talk about it. Since the duels, this is just the third caution. The duels and the LCQ. But coming at lap 21, man, it may have shocked many. Michael Mitchum will be restarting in 6. I like his restart speed. I think he'll be able to make quick work of drivers if he elects to go to the outside. Jackson Carr, a big restart, still up inside that top 10. I don't expect him touching the first or second spot anytime soon, maybe till about lap 60, lap 65. That's what I project. But we look outside the top 20, Josh Kenyon, River Page, Chad Horns. These are drivers that can get it done. When the laps fade away, they're going to be just outside that bubble position.
And something else I think to keep in mind is what this caution and subsequent pit stops have done. It's made this a 3-stop race.
Yep. 3-stop race. That's if we go green all the way.
If we go green, yes.
So Chevy and Dodge will realign the field. That's up front. Davis Lewis on the inside, another Mopar with 2 bow ties on the outside. You throw 2 Toyotas in the mix. That's for 5th and 6th with William Schmidt and the 11 machine of Michael Mitchum. Let's get ready for the restart. So a quick bump in the road brings the caution out for the first time, but we'll get ready to fire them back off. The atmosphere has been electric since the shootout. Here we are with the sun mostly setting and the track illuminating. Let's get ready to go back to green flag racing. The pace car will make the hard left onto pit road. Dominic Barbagallo. 1 win in NR Night in America. Make it 2. 1 from Atlanta, 1 from Daytona versus Braden Mubbick. More wins than many can count. Back underway in the NWP 400. Garza, company topside with Michael Mitchum, but there's a lot of daylight in between. The numbers game works on the inside. Drew Jua lined in with Davis Lewis, Dominic Barbagallo, and Braden Mubbick.
Very spread out restart. You're going to see Lewis look to the high side. He's got Schmidt with him, aggressive move. And Mubbick goes up to block, still spread out, packed throughout.
They're not moving around just too fast. You see it back to turn 3. It's 3 or 4 on the outside versus 3 on the inside. Big separation game as the top 7 quickly pull away. Tamer, Comstock, that's for 8th and 9th. Dominic Barbagallo in the Los Polos Hermanos Dodge will lead them back to the line.
Up top, though, you're starting to get more cars put into that line. Braden Mubbick trying to get that push from Lewis on the high side. Comstock trying to catch that 5 and bring the bottom together.
He wants to get it all locked in because all this movement has allowed too much of an airflow, and the inside lane hasn't been able to get the runoff exit that they should probably get. Lined up, 2 by 2. No big changes just yet. Mubbick on the outside, Barbagallo on the bottom, 23 laps in.
High side's got it rolling, top 2 clear. Mubbick decides to bail on him, go low. Up top, Lewis in that 19. He's going to try and get the run on Mubbick and go for the lead.
Got it lined in, Dodge Chevrolet. Davis Lewis will get his first lap lead of the night with a shove by Adam Garza.
And a huge push, got him really loose, but they keep it together. Lewis maybe half a tenth lead over Mubbick.
Here's Jackson Carr. Lined up with Gavin Austin. We talked about the separation between 2 machines, what it could create, a little bit of a rift in the momentum to move forward. Not a lot of opportunities to shove it 3 wide. Jua inside, Mubbick inside. Davis Lewis on the outside, still 2 by 2.
Lewis with the edge for now, but Mubbick gets that run on the bottom. We're seeing that where in the corners, bottom line gets it, but out of the corners, that momentum is held on the outside. Lewis is going to get it this time.
Remember that big separation on the restart? They have quickly joined back together. It's not 20, 25, 30 machines under a second. It's very much a parade with the 2 by 2 up front. Lewis dicing back to the bottom with Adam Garza on the outside. That's with Michael Mitchum.
Driving really twitchy at this point. Just kind of can't keep it in one line. You see Mubbick goes high, then low, makes the move on Lewis. Going to get the lead with a push from Barbagallo. 3 wide in the pack.
Davis Lewis stuck in the middle, and no one's going to work with him. Now he's got Jason Tamer. Make it not. Tamer goes to the outside. 3 wide. It will be 2 rows deep off turn 4.
Now he's going to go to the high side. That's Garza in the 15. Movement through the pack still really tight. 3 wide at the line.
And this is Braden Movick's playground right now. He sees all the craziness in his mirror as he's shoved in the back end by a Dodge. 3 wide now, 3 rows deep, looking 4 rows deep. If you go way towards about 30th and 28th, it's racy and it's on from Daytona.
So you're seeing them bail again down to the bottom. Now they're back 2 by 2 throughout the front pack.
Movick inside, and just see that little bit of a shove from Dominic Barbagallo. They're keeping the width in between both machines to about a paper. Schmidt inside, not getting dicey. Drew Jua, this is what he wants to see. An opportunity to retake the lead. Movick to the top. He's going to block him.
Ethan Eckert on the high side tried to make a move with Reyna. Reyna bailed. He is off on his own in no man's land. Up front, Barbagallo. Los Pollos Hermanos going for the lead.
I love the moxie. I love the move here by Ethan Eckert. You know why? Because it's showing that he is willing to make moves if anyone else wants to make a move. But the problem is nobody wants to work with him. And that is just the unfortunate situation that he's stuck in right now. If I'm that 18, I ride in line. And when someone goes top, show that you can be a valuable ally. It's a 400-mile race. You have time to showcase what you have. Right now for Eckert, he's going to have to drop to the tail.
No, he's holding steady up there, but one holding more steady than all. Braden Movick has that lead going through the tri-oval. Drew Jua going to challenge it again.
He's probably got him with a shot on the outside. Jua, race leader indeed at turn 1.
He's got it, not for long though. It's that seesaw back and forth. First Movick on the bottom gets a push. He's clear now. If he wants to go high, he can. Jua is going to get the run. You see it there. We're going to get that push from Lewis. He's going to probably not get to the very side of him, but making up the ground.
Eckert gets in line. That's with Jason Tamer. Tamer back to 15th. On the move once again, Malik Ray. He's in that 15th position. Haven't talked about Josh Kenyon all of Speed Week. He's arrived in the 13th spot. He's another one that's had a lot of movement going on just in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, a lot of movement. We're seeing just one at a time, different ones. I think that's Lane Sanders up there, gets shuffled out. Back to the 2 by 2. You see that gap. Then they close it back in. You see up front, Jua gets the lead. Then Movick closes it back in. Back to the super stretch.
Everyone lined in. No big changes. Blinking again, Malik Ray. We're going to call it. So this is a clear issue now, once again, out of some drivers. For the ones that did not know, Windows had a driver update. Now, what are drivers? It's basically a piece of the computer that pushes out graphics, and it's really important to keep things rolling with the frame rate with it. That update came out today. We notified the drivers, but some of them may not have gotten through the memo that you need to update the drivers. We got the driver update. We reset the PC right before the start. I've seen multiple blinks. We checked our end. Our frame rate looks good. Our lining looks good. But if this continues to happen, it could affect the server that you're currently watching this race on. Keep it in mind, that happened in the Alabama 500 when we had a driver update the day of the e-ticket event. I think Malik Ray is struggling with just that.
Yeah, and that is going to be really big come crunch time if he can't get it under control up front. Trying to get control, and that's Drew Jua. Braden Movick again going to fight back down low. Again, you're seeing that seesaw back and forth up top. Movick blocks to the high side, aggressive move. He's going to have the lead, but maybe not for long.
Not long at all, because Barbagallo is going to get company in the 79. They're going to continue to do this back and forth range of motion, but they're well outside the pit window. No one has truly dropped on back. You look to who's in 43rd now. That's the James Yusa machine, all by himself. And I know what the crowd does at Daytona. When someone loses the draft, they do the wave. Unfortunately for James Yusa, 15 seconds off the pace.
And we saw that is something that can shuffle up the front pack like nobody's business as a lapper going through. Up front now, Jua and Movick went from going against each other to working together, and it's going to keep them right there battling for the lead.
You see Garza with the peek to the outside. He wanted to make the swing on the Davis-Lewis machine, but it's Braden Movick that will lead him back to the line. He's looking like the hot favorite, Jarrett. Very early on, and Drew Jua is right with him. There's a reason why so many either root or root against the big names in NR Night in America. Left side of your screen, Baker is moving his way up. He's up to the 15th position. He's got the 22 of Gavin Austin to his inside. Jaden Raynham hasn't broken through the top 10 bubble much. He's back to the 20th position. Trevor Huff up to 12. He's in the Dutch Bros Coffee. 4, yes it is, on the outside, and toe-to-toe with Ethan Eckert.
What you're seeing outside of maybe the leaders is the majority of this pack is keeping about a car length between each other. They're playing it safe. They don't want to have another issue like we saw about 15 laps ago where you have that accordion. They're giving themselves a safe lane out. Now up front, they're just almost trying to tandem draft. They're getting so close.
Yeah, that's the thing about e-tickets of today versus what it was about 2, maybe 3 years ago. Before, the second they drop the green flag, cat's out of the bag. They're going to go at it. They're going to go 3 wide, 4 wide, and there isn't a strategy point. Now, everything comes down to strategy. You see someone up front you don't trust, you're going to drop to the back. If your internet looks to be having some issues, you're going to drop to the back. If you don't see your best buddies that you're in a Discord call with, you're going to drop back there and find them. Just for the likes of Schmidt, Lewis, Jua, Barbagal, and Movic, well, they're all lined in the IDK Player Discord server. They're talking to each other. And right now, the topic of conversation that continues to come up is what will the strategy be? Jarrett, you mentioned if they go all the way, it's 3 stops. But you have to keep in mind, that caution came out of nowhere. No one saw that coming. Is there more like that? Will we see a green flag stop even though everyone's prepared for it?
Oh, we might see a caution though. I mean, I saw Barbagallo. He kind of drifted up almost into that outside line, but I think what you're seeing different this time is that towards the middle and back of the pack, it's getting way more spread out, way more single file, way more reminiscent of a 2006, 2007 style Gen-4 Daytona summer race. And guys are just playing it easy, trying to save their cars, save tires, save whatever, just maybe ride around until the end. You see it towards the back, that single file, where up front, they're still racing hard like it's the last lap, like there's 35 to go.
So this is 2x2. Now listen in, this is Dale Greenwood. He's in the 20th position on the outside lane, not getting aggressive, just being mild. Here's Zach Todriff in 40th, and he's in the same boat, not getting aggressive, being very mild. Davis Lewis, Jackson Carr. Carr's been able to make something work on the inside. It's up to 6. So everyone's got a little bit of a different objective. Same race, same main objective, but on lap 35 as of this moment, some are looking to duel while others are looking to save.
And you're seeing that it's just sort of stretching way out. And this race is a rubber band kind of race. It stretches out, and it's gonna probably at different points in the middle here. You see that gap between probably 16th and 17th, 18th, but they all want to come back together at the end. That's where the strategy's rolling with it. You see the movement throughout this pack. Up front, though, Barbagallo and Movic just continue to duel each other with Jua and Schmidt pushing.
Once again, the third lane not coming in, but you're starting to see that tail of the right side. Every time we get to that shot in 3 and 4, watch Nate do. He's the one that shows it the most. And you can see him shuffling around right now. Once they get Jarrett 15, 17, 18, 20 laps in, the right rear tire just blows apart. You see Barbagallo struggling off the tri-oval. You're going to see 3x3 later in this race, but right now it's who can hold on to their car the most at the whopping 203 miles per hour.
And that handling issue, what really is the kind of root of what you want in your car longer in the run is who can stay in the gas the longest. Do you have to kind of blip it a little bit so that you're not drifting up into that top line, so you're not drifting out of the draft? Or can you mat it to the floor, stay going on the loud pedal, and stay up there in the leader with that lead pack? We see Yusa ahead. He's going to get lapped probably in maybe a lap or 2.
Oh, gotta brace. What about Mosteller? Yusa is going to play a big role in this, but they're already 3 wide. Den in the middle of this pack. That's Lane Sanders in the middle. Kevin Champagne on the bottom. Daniel Mosteller on the outside. 3 wide apiece.
It's just not working. Not enough cars are going up there trying to work their way up through the field. You got 3 of them now. I believe that's Greenwood that's picked up Mosteller. But all it's doing is really breaking up the middle of the pack more than anything. Mubik now finally in control of this race up towards the front. You see that lapper coming up ahead, though.
Yeah, I'm listening to Jua's car. It sounds like it's plowing in the center of the corner. He just doesn't have the speed and the aggression. Versus when he's on the straightaway, that's all American muscle, going right at it. Now, what does Yusa do here? He should get to the bottom if they kept him off turn 2 and get out of the way. Right now, he's sticking to the far side of the racetrack in the 88.
He's got to move.
He's got to get to the bottom here because they're going to be on him in a hurry.
Yeah, he needs to get under the yellow line. He does. Good move on his part. Gets out of the gas to do so. And you see that pack is just going to just train right by him.
Riding on with Trevor Huff. I think this is a Drew Jewell revenge story. Because even Talladega, he didn't have the opportunity to display what he's truly been able to do due to internet issues and just server issues. And Braden Mubik was in that same position. Mubik, Jewell, and Gavin Austin, they were livid at the end of the Alabama 500. Oh, he gets into him. And oh, what a shot to the side of the Chevrolet. That's one way to take the lead. Drew Jewell on the outside, Braden Mubik on the bottom. Trouble. Jason Tamer to the inside, they're wrecking big.
Oh, the Daniel
Mosteller wall. Jaden Reyna's in the wall, and they're tearing it up off turn 2.
That's a lot of damage to that 9 machine.
Oh, no. Oh, boy. He's done.
Wow.
And a third e-ticket event will not come out for Daniel Mosteller. Look at the damage on the nose of that Chevrolet.
The fact he's still driving that thing is absolutely insane. Just the quarter mark of this race and the 9 already totaled. Look at that left front.
I can't believe it.
I don't think Demos can believe it. I don't think a lot of the people watching can believe it. We got problems in the words of the chat. Rough break for possibly one of, if not the favorite of this race.
Can't believe it. Heavy damage to the right side, and you can hear it. Just nothingness filling the air of Daytona.
So it looked like it almost. Oh, man.
Jaden Reyna just shot right back across the track. Unbelievable.
It looked like it started around where the 8 car is in the 21. So that's where
Kenny Reel gets into Jason Tamer, and you see the Jaden Reyna machine after making contact with the 7 of Douglas Newbigging, just shove him right up into the outside wall.
I know it's not going to be any consolation to Daniel Mosteller, but him being there might have saved what little salvageable night the 3 car can still have from this with Jaden Reyna.
Unbelievable. Pit road, it's wide open. We're going to go back to our studios here in Nashville, Tennessee to talk about what we just saw in the first 40 or so laps of this event. Oh boy, this is going to change everything, and it's going to get wild in a matter of moments. But Daniel Mosteller could very much be already out of the NWP 400.
I can't think of the last time that Daniel Mosteller has been knocked out of a race this early. Like, he's been knocked out of races before in e-tickets, but it's usually late, running for the win. Last year, he was one of the top 3 guys going for the win right behind Brummett. Now, the fan favorite, arguably the favorite coming in tonight,
insane.
Out. He won the last 2 Super Speedway e-tickets.
He did. And now we sit here and we start wondering what's next. What's next for some of these other drivers? This is a guy that has been shown to be always in the right place at the right time, but for the first time all year, he's not. Ooh, man, we're just 40 laps in. I like what Jackson Carr has been doing. It's a perfect opportunity to step back and see what's next. Ethan Ecker's been doing well, but for Jaden Reyna, he flew under the radar most of Speed Weeks, but with all the wins he has had this year, you expected him to be very tough, very strong, taking out the most popular driver. What's else that is next for the night?
Well, and I gotta say, the guys I'm looking at up front, the 2 favorites so far in this race who have not had internet issues, who have not really had too much handling issues, who've been fast running for the lead. Drew Jua and Braden Mubbock. I mean, it is their revenge tour tonight so far. I mean, not even maybe a little past a quarter of the way through this race, and they are absolutely on a tear.
Oh yeah, it's going to be great to see what the Braden Mubbock machine can possibly do from here on out. He's been the strongest driver so far here tonight. I look at everyone else and I wonder the same thing. Can Braden Mubbock hold on? And what's next for a Kevin Champagne? I mean, he was in the middle of that pack. So many drivers were in position, and all of a sudden, it just completely dropped towards the back end.
Well, and Daniel Mosteller, along with TCB, those two, only two that have made a start in all 4 NWP 400s. One of them already knocked out early on. You're looking at who can get the second. You got E-Ticket. You got one of them taken out with Mosteller. That leaves TCB, Braden Mubbock, Chad Thornquist, the only 3 left that can get their 3rd E-Ticket victory tonight.
Well, we'll try it once again. The Underdogs are going to get ready to really make something work. Every E-Ticket, every NWP, it's something different. Dean Brummett had issues early on. Now Mosteller, we're still waiting to see what the call is from his team to see if he's out of this event. And who's the new guy that's still running up front? Ethan Eckert. We're going to continue to talk about him because everybody wants to avoid it. You can't avoid what Ethan Eckert has been able to do up to this moment. He's still up front. Drew Jua, he got on the side of Braden Mubbock. That was a 20-lap stint, 25-lap stint. That's where the best drivers are struggling with handling. We're going to have a long night if it shows that the outside lane and even the inside lane can't get that throttle down.
Well, and I'll talk about one more favorite that's had trouble tonight. He had trouble with internet, had to put himself into the back for the safety of him in the pack. Malik Wright, he was somebody in the duels who was just absolutely tearing it up in the top 3 the entire night. And now he's having to be, what, outside the top 30?
Yeah. Wow. Well, we know things have gotten wild. We'll get the one to go just this time by NR Night in America, fueling victories all year long. But wow, Daniel Mosteller. Not too many saw that one coming, but it has arrived. And just 43 laps in, we'll have an opportunity at yet another restart. Here's Frank DeAngelis, who looks to be electing to stay out. And he will. He'll get the one to go with now William Schmidt to his outside.
I mean, from the looks of it, Frank DeAngelis is the only one that didn't pit on that caution. And I get that the front is safe, but handling has been a big, big deal tonight.
So let's try it again. Dodge, Toyota, row number 1. Barbagala with the Dodge, Eckert with the Chevrolet, row number 2. Baker, Malone, Lewis, Jua, Greenwood, Garza, Michael Mitchum, Sean Conklin. All lined in, and we'll get ready for the restart. "44 laps in, the sun has completely set here from Daytona. William Schmidt, a big-time underdog. We're looking. Jaden Reyna still on pit road. Mosteller still on pit road. Nathan Dew's going to be a late re-entry. Chair, is it safe to say he's out? I'm not sure.
I don't see how that much damage you're going to be able to get back into contention. It's not like we just let everyone have their laps back at any given time. It's more or less at this point that, you know, maybe you salvage some kind of finish, but that's about it. You know, I don't see the 9 at least going for a win tonight.
It's always that peak, that overlook. You get to, and everyone just stops there. Is that just the ceiling? That's what it feels like. The ceiling just is always stuck at 2 e-ticket wins. One person can change that. Braden Mubbock tonight going for 3. Pace car, hard left on the pit road. Dodge and Toyota will lead us back down as we're green from the World Center of Racing. DeAngelis right to the outside
Barbagallo inside, that's with TCB. Picks up Ethan Ecker, and they're 2x2.
That's going to check up the outside line. Barbagallo with the lead push from Baker now. He's making his first appearance in the top 5. Now DeAngelis trying to get that push again. Gonna get it down the backstretch. Smiling Friends car trying to go for the lead.
He's been so close at winning e-tickets in the past. He's got a chip on his shoulder here tonight. Barb downstairs, that's Dodge on Dodge. Baker lined up with them. You still have Malone, Drew Jua, and others as they race back to the line.
You're seeing that smaller pack up towards the front, maybe the top 20 or so in the main pack. Everybody else playing it safe. No one playing it safe up front when it comes to Frank DeAngelis. Going for the lead, has it, blocks down low, really close, makes it work.
He's got it locked in, back nose to tail and wheel to wheel. Top side, William Schmidt has Jacob Malone in view, has Davis Lewis on the back end of him. They're slicing it around again. Adam Garza thought about a 3-wide move, but had to bail out of the throttle.
You'd think there wasn't a wreck that just happened. Aggressive moves throughout this front pack up front. Schmidt trying to make the move on Frank, not going to happen. DeAngelis controls the race up front.
Man, you can tell these drivers have been asking for tires because when they came in, everyone put 4 on, and now they're back sealed to the racing surface. You see the slip, you see the slide, but you don't see the falling motion after every time they leave a bankment and back on a flat. Dodge, Toyota, Schmidt top, DeAngelis bottom. Eckert, Lewis just outside the top 5. Give Frank DeAngelis the race lead off turn 2.
And up front in the 4th spot now pushing Schmidt. That is going to be Malone making a really big push to the front. First one out of line towards the back, Kevin Champagne. No one goes with him.
Hey, he's going to be locked in. It's kind of stuck in, let's call it no man's land for now, because that 3rd lane has been just ill handling and no one is looking to use it until the time is right. DeAngelis grabs another. 3 wide again. Kenny Real stuck in the middle. Lane Sanders peeking to the outside. All shuffling and wondering. Kevin Champagne has not made his move to the bottom. Now back 3 wide again with Lane Sanders.
Tons of movement through this pack. They get back to 2x2 for the most part, and they're all coming back together. You see other favorites like Mubik in the back trying to move his way forward. Dean Brummett, after collecting 2 wrecks so far tonight, still pushing his way forward. There's Mostello rejoining the race, slow on the bottom.
We got an update from his team. They said it is killed. He's going to ride around, but it looks to be all done for the Daniel Mosteller machine. They race back to the tri-oval to grab another lap. You're watching the NWP 400 live on the IDK Player YouTube channel. I'm John Ramos alongside Jarrett Lundberg. Beautiful night in Daytona, Florida, as NASCAR gets ready to head back to Daytona Beach. You kick it off with another e-ticket event, the most historic e-ticket event that this channel has to offer. William Schmidt leads the inside lane, but a newcomer, Jacob Malone, has made his way on the outside.
Frank DeAngelis racing up front like there's 12 to go instead of 112 to go, making moves high, low, in the middle. To the lead is where he goes with it. That 3rd line is forming up, though. You're seeing others. Malik Ray up there. Sean Conklin moving up. That's, I believe, Corey Lyles that's trying to make his way up. 3 lines definitively formed in the pack.
It's racy. Everyone
Trafari in the wall.
Connor Trafari outside wall just grazes it. He will stay within the main group. You look at Xander McKinney, that is way back there, but no one's going to yield as they climb the banking of 1 and 2.
And now Garza with that push from Conklin. He's trying to make that move. 4 cars on that very, very high line. Not going backwards yet, staying put for now.
William Schmidt in the middle, there with Jacob Malone, and there's the Jaden Reyna machine. On the apron, down into turn 3. Top of the racetrack, Adam Garza. Top of the racetrack, Sean Conklin. How they were able to fix that silver bullet and keep it race-winning pace, no idea. But he's up there inside the top 10.
And you see slicing his way to the bottom right behind Ethan Ecker. That's Malik Ray making moves too. Making moves to the bottom, getting the heck out of the way. And up front, Schmidt just high, low, block every line, and stay in the lead.
Well, this is the fastest they have been all night, it feels like, in the main pack on consistent pace.
if you're running dead 3 wide, you gotta go ahead and brace because you don't know what's gonna shuffle. Mavic led the majority of this race, and once they turned the wick up, he's back now in the 15th position.
And that top line isn't going away. That duo of Garza and Conklin still in the top 6 or 7, depending on when you look at them. And they're still drafting up for the lead to the high side of Frank DeAngelis, going for the lead, not there yet at the line.
This is what you came for, high in Tech City action, whether it's 109 laps to go or 9 laps left in the race. Dodge in the middle, shoved by Chevrolet. Top end, that's Garza, still with the Dodge of Sean Conklin. Man, DeAngelis lost all the momentum, runs to the inside as Malone takes the lead off too.
You're seeing Malik Gray, he's bailing this time, no internet issues, it's just aggression issues towards the front. Malone with the lead, Frank fights back down low. They're not giving it up without any fight.
All lined in, still the 2x2, 3 wide, 3 rows deep, just outside the first 9 or 10 spots, but Frank DeAngelis has come to play. The driver from New Jersey takes another one with him.
Frank again down low, just trying to figure out the lane that'll work. Right now he's chose the bottom. He's gonna stay there because Malone gets that run up top, push from Lewis. Push behind him with Baker. Top line disintegrating towards the top. Top 2 lines now are bottom and middle.
3 wide, 4 rows deep, now make it 3. Corey Lyles, inside lane. You saw 1 bailout. That was the 65 of Trevor Hoff. DeAngelis inside with William Schmidt. 3 wide, middle of the group. That looked to be Gavin Gomez, but they're back 2x2. Everyone shuffling the deck and getting what they can. There's a new strategy at hand, Jarrett. Everyone knows with 20 laps running in the move, the cars are going to get ill handling, so pick up the spots before your time truly runs out. That's why you see Adam Garza on the top end of the racetrack, not laying over for the Dodge.
Well, it didn't help. Well, it probably did help him, but didn't help the middle line that Frank looked like almost bumper locked with Malone. That slowed the whole middle lineup, gave Schmidt the lead for a moment. Frank will not go away, though. Fights back in the middle with a push from 32.
William Schmidt inside. And you're starting to see him drift up the racetrack a little bit as well. He has to just blip the throttle a little bit. And I know it's so tough for somebody here. Man, blipping the throttle, struggling with car control. This is Daytona. This is supposed to be just pack racing and going. Different era, different objective, different speed, different package. If you can't control your car, you will not win this race.
Malone almost looking to the high side, almost got to the high side of DeAngelis, almost looking like he's trying to find somewhere to go. Frank is just all over the place in that car. Schmidt with the lead, DeAngelis with the push up top. Not enough of a run really to get over that 79.
55 laps in, 160 laps to go. Let's talk about the big names, at least, that we mentioned at one point in the early portions of the race. Frank Horley, Malik Ray, well outside the top 25. Jason Tamer at one point was up there. There's the Jackson car, 44, back in 20th. And all of a sudden you start realizing, oh, hey, Drew Jew is back here as well. They want nothing to do with what's going on up front. But William Schmidt, I think, is one of the few drivers that have lived up front since the drop of the green flag. Have a day for the 79.
Yeah, he is just, I think, going a different strategy. A lot of drivers said you have to be up towards the front. It's the safest place to be, and that's where he's going. That's where Garza's going. That's where DeAngelis is going. He's going down low, right in front of Schmidt.
Locks it in on the bottom. Garza on the outside with Sean Conklin. Michael Mitchell in the number 11 machine. Another one grazing the outside lane, still 3 wide, 3 rows deep.
And that top line, this is probably the most we've seen them in all of Speed Week stay up towards the front. They've got enough numbers now, 5 up there in this small little pack, and it's keeping Garza right in the fight.
43 drivers came out today with an opportunity after 200 sign-ups and 101 entered Speed Weeks. Thornquist to the inside, bailing out, doesn't like what he sees. Out of those 43 drivers, there's maybe 15 and 16 just tightly knit together, about half a second between 16th to the race leader.
And this is around the time of the run that you start seeing handling make this big difference with these cars. You start seeing guys who slide a little bit of that line ahead of them, on top over them. You see some that got to get out of the throttle while others bump into them. This is where you see those kind of issues at this point. And up front, even without pitting, you see him move up a little bit. Frank DeAngelis keeping the lead. And they're coming up again on a lap traffic that's due, gets out of the way. A lot better this time.
Yeah, he's not had the race he expected to have after that big LCQ win. He drops to the inside now, multiple laps down. You see the top 20 of 43 drivers on the left side of your screen. Demos back on the racing surface are calling 15 laps down. The team says they just want to finish the race at this point. And for all the viewers hanging back at home that love the number 9, he's looking to just finish it for them. Jacob Malone, the race leader on the outside, he's got something to prove, and he's got company in the 19.
And he has got a pretty fast machine. Lewis with that nice drafting push behind him. He's stayed almost glued to the back of him for a few laps now. DeAngelis, though, I'm impressed. I mean, he's got lesser tires than all of these guys he's racing against. He's got a car that we weren't sure about because he was in the back, keeping the lead or at least fighting for the lead for the good part of this run.
Yeah, you see it now, 5 guys going to the outside lane. Everyone else 2 by 2, but the best shot you can see is right here. The bold ones up front, everyone else towards the back end, logging laps, thinking, when's the next rest stop? This is one heck of a road trip. 400 miles till you reach your designated arrival point. Jacob Malone, middle lane, that's the way to go. Frank's got company, Barbagallo, William Schmidt, they're all in the same chat. Ethan Eckert late on the 25, but they keep it rolling straight coming off turn 2.
They wanted to go up the middle. They wanted to go 3 wide, thought better of it with 100 to go. Way too aggressive, way too early. That's Yusa on the bottom in the lap green car. Up front, though, Frank DeAngelis again keeps that lead.
I want you to watch what Adam Garza's doing. He's doing something that I actually learned this week from listening to MRN during the ARCA race. Austin Cindric talked about what it's like to grab the quarter panel, that right rear quarter panel of a driver to pull them back. That's called side drafting. Now, we know that term, but the term grabbing the quarter panel means you just get oh so close to the right side of the car, and it's like you're taking the air away that produces the speed for them and dumps them back. What Garza's doing is trying to grab the right rear quarter panel of Davis Lewis to eliminate all of that momentum to then generate it towards either himself or just to pull the rest of the pack back and the speed slow up where he can just maintain the 3 wide.
He's been close. He's been close multiple times to getting clear. Just can't get it enough. He's next to the 19. Next up will be Malone, that if he's able to get to him. Trafari getting slow in the middle of this pack.
Yeah, he slammed the outside wall off turn 3, and he's going to drop way on back. This is racing from Daytona, and look who's on the scene. The LSU driver, Gavin Gomez, up to 17th. He is locked in and looking for spots, but there's just nowhere to run.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go in this pack. You just get in the line, and you hope you move forward at some point. And we see up towards the high side, we talked about Garza a moment ago, it's like he gets up to that second or first car in line and then can't really get much more than that, falls back up front. A move in the middle by Schmidt. Malone on the high side now. They're trying to fight DeAngelis for this lead. DeAngelis just sticking it to the bottom and hoping it stays there.
Nobody is sitting down. This is racing from Daytona. Sliding in, 3 wide, all watching on. Back to the line, give it maybe to William Schmidt. Less than 100 laps to go already in the NWP 400.
You're seeing that movement through. Terrell Baker, TCB in the 25 and 6th. Back at Talladega, led on the last lap, finished outside the top 20. He wants redemption. He's moved his way towards the front. A great super speedway racer in NR. He's in the 6th spot, going for the top 5.
Oh man, it's on, and you can see what this pack looks like from the 44 of Jackson car. He sits in 21st. He's got Lane Sanders in front of him, but the second he looks to the outside, it's nothing but machines that litter the front stretch here at Daytona. Back to the tri-oval. Lap 64, 160. Frank DeAngelis, I am loving what I see out of this 69. Every lap he's up front, he's proven someone wrong, but on the other side of that coin, same with Ethan Eckert.
Yeah, but both of them proving a lot of doubters wrong tonight. Top side is almost completely disintegrated. Now only 2 cars up there. That is Malone and Conklin. But those 2 bottom lines, if you look, 4th on the bottom, Braden Movick moving his way back forward up to the 9th spot through the pack.
All lined in. I'm surprised Barbagallo's been able to stick up front as long as he has. Here's someone coming forward. That's Dale Greenwood in the number 12. He's making his way through on the inside lane. He hasn't moved top. He hasn't moved to the outside. He's really been working with Gavin Gomez. Now they've gotten separated. Talk about Gavin Gomez once again, racing from Baton Rouge on the campus of LSU. It's going to be a party in Louisiana if that Ford goes to victory lane. But I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen top 5 pace. I haven't seen top 6 pace as they all fan out down the backstretch.
I don't know what happened there. Somebody got loose, but the pack now all stuck 3 wide.
Well, hold on. I think Trevor Huff just blew an engine. Let's listen. That's Jua. This is the Huff machine. Something terribly wrong.
Yeah, that might have been it. And we saw something similar to that at the start of duel number 1 on Thursday night. Let's see.
Now this is well beforehand. This is coming down. Off turn number 2, watch the 65. Yeah, something terrible happened. I'm not sure if it's a complete engine busting or something broke, but it scared everybody from about 21st on back.
Yeah, you even saw on the bottom there, McKinney in the Canes car. He just decided, I'm going to go through the grass. Everyone's spreading out. I don't want to get in the middle of that. But safe driving by these guys, and they're all able to keep it safe, not get involved in a wreck that wasn't needed. They keep on racing up front, and you're seeing basically the top 18 or so 2x2 before the rest of the pack single files out.
Now you look way back. This is 22nd, 23rd. Dean Brummett back in 26 with Jason Tamer, Christian Delgado, Connor Trafari. Nobody has left the racing surface. Even Jaden Reyna with Dano Mosteller over 9 laps down, make it 10 now for the Reyna machine. Shows that they're at least running and wondering if they have a shot. Still 40 drivers have a legit shot at winning this race.
Yeah, and they are racing like they know it. Up front, Schmidt now has that lead, trying to work the high side, but DeAngelis is proving to have one of the better cars out there. And like we said before, he's at a disadvantage with tires, with pit strategy, all of that. So for him to stay up there this long, pretty impressive.
2x2. Now William Schmidt gets the nose out in front. It's been the same ones up here for the last 25 or so laps. They did get contested, and I mean heavily contested by multiple guys. But look at that 94. He's starting to inch his way forward. Kevin Champagne in the 14th spot. This is what he was looking for. A little bit of a dent in an armor that he can maybe work with. He's starting to see it now, and I think with the 42 of Braden Muddick sneaking through, he may be another one. That's no problem forcing these guys 3 wide.
He very well will do that at some point tonight.
100%.
We know him that well. We see on the Frank's bailing out.
And this is because he stayed out on that last line of pit stops. He was hoping for another caution to come out. Frank DeAngelis could easily go 1 lap down here. Malik Ray still struggling with internet.
And on the top there, he's just keeping it plastered the wall out of the pack. Mosteller, I believe, goes 16 laps down now in that 9 machine, just trying to limp it home the rest of the way. I believe that's that Bomar up towards the top making a move in the 20 car. He's got Conklin with him. That 40 will go to the high side.
We're getting reports Trevor Huff did blow up, but they think it is possibly salvageable. That's why we still heard him somewhat in the throttle when the engine went. His oil temps went just a little bit too high, but was able to save it. Not out of the race, out of contention for winning.
Yeah, and shame because he was running pretty high up through the pack, just playing it safe. Up front still, Schmidt. Now Barbagallo takes the place of DeAngelis on that bottom side with Lyles pushing him. And they're just seeing that bottom line. If people stay patient, they're able to sort of shuffle their way up from that bottom line to be the 6th in line, the 5th, the 4th. You're seeing it with Muppet. He's up in the top 5 again because he just stayed in the draft.
How about James Beaumont? Nobody has truly mentioned the Bomar machine. He's going to have company on the outside. I worry about his internet issue as well. He's one of the guys that's historically had issues. Frank DeAngelis back on the racing surface, but he'll be 1 lap down.
DeAngelis needs to stay in that draft, though. Stay as the first car lap down, hope for a caution, or maybe they pit. They're able to cycle back into that pack. 3 wide again. That's Baker leading the high side. Getting really tight, though.
Oh, it's a hold your breath moment. Baker top side, lined in with James Bomar, lined in with the 40 machine of Sean Conklin, Chevy on the outside, Dodge on the bottom, shove the Toyota in the middle, and no one is breathing out of the throttle to turn 3.
Yeah, 3 by 3 by 3 leading this pack. After that, you just decide where you want to go, depending on the line, where it moves. Pretty even. This is the best we've seen. The third line at the top, battle for the lead all night.
He's really paying off here. Baker will lead his first lap of the night. Checkmate and thank you. He's going to get it done.
Bomar around.
Bomar hard into the outside while he catches air. Lane Sanders goes for a slide. Kenny Reel goes for a slide as well. Huge jump for Trula in the grass, and the caution will wait.
Mitchum in it. We see Hornish with some serious air time.
Zach Tondrev, oh, he's got a dent on the nose.
I think Donskoy was involved. Dean Brummett, third of the night. After last year where he stayed out of all of the trouble, everything that went on, Dean Brummett tonight has just, he's at the opposite of the Gordon Horseshoe this year.
Daytona will chew you up no matter what your past looked like. And yes, former e-ticket event winner of the NWP 400. It wasn't going to be roses and sunshine, man. He's really having to pay for it tonight.
I think that started, though, with Bomar in the 20 getting around. I don't know if there was a netcode deal or if he just got hooked, but he went around into the pack, and it was on.
Look at the damage on Michael Mitchum.
Another one who was kind of sliding under the radar, caught up in that.
Let's watch back. This was just around the time of incident. And this is when it all unfolded. Let's watch. James Bomar got help from the Sean Conklin 40. Lifted up into the air off the nose, maybe, of the Ethan Eckert 18. Lifted twice by Michael Mitchum, and Drew Jewell was just getting shoved left and right.
Yeah, he got a little damage in that. And looking into the pack.
Man, look at Malik Ray. Just barely got tagged on the right side.
I think Dean Brummett just spun it to stay out of it. I don't think he got too much, if any, contact.
Let's watch back. Sean Conklin, number 40. This is his second incident he's been a part of.
There was a blink before this from the 20.
And then you wonder if he was fully visible on Conklin's screen. You can see, yes, it was an internet issue. So Conklin will not get a penalty for this. This was all James Bomar, and the internet issues continued to be a problem.
And look, as they come up on the lap car of IMSA as well. So they're not only having to avoid the wreck, they're having to avoid the lapper that is exponentially slower. But this is surprising from the racing we've seen through most of Speed Weeks for the relatively better conditions of this race compared to the last 3-4 races. This is surprising.
Oh, yeah. Caution flies once again, this time at 74 laps into the 160. That's the scheduled distance. Braden Mulvick, Dominic Barbagalla, William Schmidt, Sean Conklin all out. You have Baker, Lewis, Eckert, Gavin Austin back onto the racing surface. Now, it has been known that James Bomar will be given an L1 penalty, so that means he'll go to the tail end of the longest line on the restart, where he most likely will be after that. Admins have said if you continue to blink up front, you will be parked for the remainder of the race. They don't want an internet wreck taking so many opportunities away. And you may be saying, oh, that's a little bit hurtful. That's wrong. Why would you do that? Jared, I'm starting to realize something. I think fog is boiling over this racetrack.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean,
I saw it last time off turn 4. I'm going to stop my thought process there. There was no room for fog from what it looked like in the radar. But now we're looking at it, and I wonder what's going on. Now, the humidity is back up to 97%. Track temp is still 78, but man, that is a ton of moisture in the air off turn 2.
Yeah, that might be causing some issues as well for these drivers. You're seeing throughout the night these cars driving way different. At first, they were sliding a little bit more. Now, not as much sliding, at least the way they were before. They're now sliding more in the middle of the corner almost.
Yeah, you can see it right there. It has gotten intensely dark, at least from the front stretch cameras. Sean Conklin, you see him there. And this is going to play a big role. I don't think anyone had this at all. And they're talking about there's fog that has come over the track. You saw when we made the session, no opportunity for fog. And now it's starting to play a vital role. Some of these drivers have now mentioned that fog has come over the racetrack.
We're just reaching lap 75, going on 76, right before the halfway point of this race on lap 80, and it's going to be really difficult for the next 85 laps having to deal with this.
Whoa. Kind of remind me of the 06 500.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. With how this is going on, and you can see it's mostly down towards turn 4. Whenever we get a long hanging camera, you will see it. And right there, yeah, definitely the long shots are going to be interesting. I wonder how they play this now. Does fog affect the handling? Does it affect the moisture on the track? I don't think it's going to make it to where they have to put rain tires on. Obviously, we would not be racing in the rain, but that is some serious fog, and we're trying to get an update on when it will come through.
You can see, I mean, just from the cars in the back, how dark it looks. They're lining up back to go. Mavic, Barbagallo, Conklin up there with Schmidt, so they're ready to go.
Now we're hearing this could be just a passing fog cell. By the end of the race, we should be good to go. Oh, didn't have that on the bingo card. Just sounds like an e-ticket event to me.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
It's supposed to be the most challenging event with the biggest field.
Well, this has just shocked everyone. Now, how will they race? Will they continue at the 3x3, or are they going to have to lay out of the throttle just a little? Let's find out. Pace car will make the hard left onto pit road. Braden Mavic, Dominic Barbagallo, William Schmidt, and Sean Conklin will lead us back to the green as we restart just under halfway in the 2024 NWP 400.
Great restart from Mavic there. Gets out to nearly clear for the lead. Barbagallo with 4 cars behind him. And look at Eckert with a huge run in that 18.
Barb on the outside. Kevin Champagne tiptoeing down on the inside. Hasn't made any type of big lunge. Hasn't made any type of big change to the outside lane. You're looking at 3 wide now from Malik Ray.
You're seeing it through the pack up front, though, 2 by 2 by 2. And it's Mavic retaking the lead. Can he keep it off 4?
It's going to be tough to see. Oh, he's got it for sure. That inside lane has so much more grip than the outside. He will shove a block there on the 17 of Dominic Barbagallo as Braden Mavic will lead him back to the line.
That opens the door on the bottom for Schmidt. That's 79, getting the push from Eckert now. Eckert been pretty quiet in this race up front, the top 2 rows.
But he's got a former e-ticket champion just hogging down the mirror. That's Kevin Champagne in the 94, who pulls nose to tail with the 18. Eckert inside, Mavic outside, William Schmidt takes the lead on the bottom.
Another good run for him. That high side trying to get that push again. Nose out for the lead. It was Schmidt. He's going to keep it off 4. Mavic gets the run.
Oh man, it's on. Lined up 2 by 2. Braden Mavic outside. William Schmidt inside. Schmitty will leave that lap. Mavic top end. He's getting a shot for the back, but is going to just narrowly get it down to turn 1.
Gavin Austin dived out of line a little bit there. He dove down to the bottom, 4th 1 on the bottom, that 22 Ford. Up front, Mavic, Schmidt not giving an inch.
Schmidt on the inside, Mavic on the outside, Dominic Barbagallo there in 3rd. Barb's got Conklin. Barb also has Kevin Champagne that is closed in on the inside to the back end of Ethan Eckert. Does Eckert use the 94 to possibly find a way around William Schmidt? Not sure because they're stuck on the bottom in a jam.
That fog making it really dark over the front stretch. These long shots, you see him go in and out of it. There's Mavic out of the fog, into the lead, not for long. Schmidt gets it back.
Here is an update on the radar, and every driver has to know this. Light fog to the checkered flag. It was not in the weather. They checked it out. It was not in the weather system, but it looks to possibly be like this. It will lighten up from what we're hearing, from what iRacing is giving us on the data. but this is going to put a big wrench in some of these drivers' plans. Championship implications for an e-ticket event on the line. What do you have to do? You have to fight your way through low visibility.
You got to stay up front then. You have to. It's safer to be in the lead when there's less or no cars in front of you, and that's what Mubik and Barbagallo have in mind. Conklin with a huge shove to that 17. And down low, Big Mac to the lead, Braden Mubik with it.
Another update, this is the worst of it. In the next 6 minutes, it's supposed to lighten up, and it will be light fog to the checkered flag. Wow. I'm still going to talk about how crazy this is because it looks like there's no lights on down the backstretch. Barbagallo topside, Mubik inside, outside Sean Conklin, Ethan Eckert. Well, that's a sigh of relief for some because that means we were going to have to red flag it and get the fog out and try it all again. But in this case, we continue to race.
And we race past the halfway mark. Ending lap 80 of 160, 80 to go. Mubik with the lead, Barbagallo up front. It's fried chicken versus McDonald's on the front row.
It's going to be a great day for Braden Mubik if the McVice Chevrolet can find victory lane, but that Los Polos Hermanos Dodge will not be denied on the outside lane. Still tucked in 2x2. Outside, Terrell Baker lined up with the Davis Lewis 19. Everyone continues to sit 2x2 on the banking of 3.
You know what this fog reminds me of on the backstretch, Sean? You remember testing back, I think, in about 2014, where they were going down in a pack down the backstretch and the lights just went off?
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. You see, they go back into the light on this side of the track. They're going to go around the corner and visibility just goes no. And you know what? You know what they did in that? That these guys are doing the same thing? Keep it to the floor and just keep going.
Now, I'm not a weatherman, but usually when there's this much fog, you see clouds coming forming up, but it is clear as day.
Look at that.
And it's not getting better as of this moment. They said within the next 6 minutes. This is the wildest and weirdest system we've ever had in an e-ticket event. Usually we have it at sunny. It's like maybe a nice warm 80 degrees.
It's like it's Halloween.
Huge change, an amazing change.
It's like it's Halloween with the darkness. I mean, you see it right there again. It's almost like it went grayscale.
Now,
and they're going 3 and 4 wide in the back through it all. These guys are the best.
At up to 200 miles per hour for the ones watching back at home. We can laugh about it. We can have fun with it, but they're locked in. Fog's not going to ruin them. Malik Ray is not going to have that stop him going 3 wide. He's to the outside with Frank Worrell.
What I've noticed is those two lines, they drifted up in the corner. They went up a little bit. That 48 was able to get a bit of a run, and he is gaining followers on the high side. TCB picks him up. He's going to lead that high line, while Nick Weiss and Schmidt battle up front.
2x2, 3 wide still. Now for that 3rd lane. See Barbagallo peeking back to that outside. Now peeks to the inside. No subtle change with 77 to go.
And they're keeping pace up there. Schmidt now with the lead. It's a second row of Eckert and Mubik. Those two, little bit of like sandpaper to each other. And Baker's going to take advantage of it. He's making the move up top. He's up into the top 5.
Yeah, he's got it working, and he's moving quickly. You see Braden Mubik jump to the wayside. Shuts the door on the TCB 25. Malik Ray had to pull out of the throttle as Mubik will lead the 3rd lane to turn 3.
And they're even in that 3rd lane as well. Barbagallo now in the middle gets a little bit ahead. Schmidt gets the run on the bottom. Malik Ray tries going low, can't do it. Top line, break it up a bit.
77, 76 to go from Daytona. 3 wide for the race lead. William Schmidt has it locked in on the bottom.
And now Baker pushing Mubik, trying to get him out to the lead. Maybe 200s between those top 3. Down low, Schmidt with the edge over Barbagallo. He's clear of Mubik. If he wants a high side, he'll got it. He takes it. He's going to get the push to the lead.
Barb's got to be smart right here. Now, those 3 drivers up there, I don't think want to work with them. They want to work on their own accords. But what's it going to be for him? Can he sit up there and work with those guys? Can he prove enough that he is where he needs to be? Look at this. 3 wide, 3, maybe nearly 4 rows deep, Everyone continues to shuffle around with 75 to go.
High side getting beat a little bit down these backstretch. Oh, contact, Conklin and Schmidt. They rub doors, keep it together. That's going to open the door for that 17.
That silver bullet is moving and has eyes just locked on that front spot. Schmidt downstairs, drifts up half a lane, doesn't think much of it. He still lines in 3 wide. Barbagallo holding on strong to that wayside. He's still with Braden Muddick. I think Muddick is forced to work with the 17.
Silver bullet firing off onto the bottom line with the lead now out of Ford. They're still 3 wide behind him. He can choose any line to block if he wants it.
Back to the line. Dodge 3 at rest. Sean Conklin will lead his first lap of the race.
Yeah, he won't lead it for long, though. Davis Lewis getting the run to that Mountain Dew machine with a push from Malik Ray. Ray now pushing up second in line in the middle. Top line completely falls apart.
Look at the separation within the top 20. They've gotten to about a second and change back. It's mostly single file. This is what they see. This is Jaroslav Donskoy. And the worry was driver visibility. Is it good enough? Clearly, Yaroslav is not dealing with any issues. This is what Douglas Newbigging sees. The fog is only affecting the grandstands, not the drivers on the racing surface. Once again, we stay green.
They're below it. They're below all that fog. They're seeing pretty well. What they're seeing is that they're in the second half of this race. They need to start moving forward. You're seeing the moves through the pack. Up front, Conklin, Schmidt, they're clear of the pack. They can go anywhere they want. Single file right now, 1-2.
I'm starting to realize that the fog is high. It's not on the racing surface. What it's affecting is our cameras. That's about it. These drivers are looking at like, ooh, man, Halloween's come early here in August. But right now, they're racing really well. The track temperature has changed a little bit. The conditions have changed. And honestly, I think this fog has allowed that third lane to come in a little bit more because the inside lane and the second lane has lost the grip that it had on lap 5 and lap 10.
Well, I'm going to point someone out here. Ethan Eckert up in the top 5, still battling in that bottom line as Lewis makes the dive down for the lead. But Eckert was somebody that a lot of these drivers sort of scoffed at. Oh, yeah, he did good in these races. Oh, yeah, he got lucky. They're going to get him to the back. We're sitting here on lap 88 of 160, and he is firing off still in 5th.
Toyota outside. Lewis lined up inside. Eckert, Gavin Austin, Josh Kenyon, all 2x2 on the bottom.
And pretty even for the most part. Davis Lewis, that 19, is just, he's been aggressive. He's been very aggressive since we've got it back going after the last restart. And he is just on it, fighting against William Schmidt on that high side.
Schmitty position, Malik Ray lined up with him. And how about Malik Ray going from the back to the front, to the back, to the front, to the back, to the front? I mean, he's been all over the place. It feels like it's just never ending for the 48. But the internet issues for him has been affected so deeply. I wonder what's next. Can he get to the end? Is there an issue possibly looming in the distance?
I mean, he's the one that's, I think, if he were able to just be aggressive the whole time, could have led the majority of this race. You're seeing in the back, too, somebody he was working with, Drew Jua, trying to make that third line work. But these two, I think, are the sleeping giants in the field as we run now. They're able to make moves that not many other front runners can make.
70 to go.
Mubbick, he just got shuffled out of line, and he has nowhere to go but backwards.
He's going to drop way back. I don't think anyone's going to be working with him. Wayside now, that's with Baker. In the 25, Dodge Toyota, that's for the top spot. Still a lot of race left to go. That's what you got to think about. That's what you got to worry about for some of these drivers. What's going to change, if anything does change? Or do you go green all the way? We have yet to see those green flag stops.
Yeah, we have yet to see them, and you got to think that they're due. But these guys are playing it so aggressive throughout the run. It's hard to think that somebody won't make a mistake in the next 70 laps.
69 to go. William Schmidt fires off on the outside lane. That's with Malik Ray. Davis Lewis still the inside with Sean Conklin. You got Frank Horley way outside. Top end. Dodge has a Chevrolet there. That looks to be Drew Jua. Drew Jua back on the right end and moving forward.
Yeah, he is pushing it forward and pushing it quick. Horley with that run. He's trying to get back in victory lane. You see it getting really close with Greenwood and Jua as they pass the Lapper Arena on the bottom. Up front, though, it's going to be Malik Ray making the move. The high side goes down to the middle, makes the move on Schmidt. He's going to lead that middle line.
He's going to dice it up, and here comes Frank Corley. He's going to join in. Dodge in line with Chevrolet. More company behind. Dale Greenwood has slotted in the train tracks of the two. Malik Ray has made his move, sets his bet up front to the high banks of 1 and 2.
Making that move, he put a great move on Schmidt. I mean, almost juked him out in the car, and that's going to get him the lead down the super stretch with a push from that Miller High Life machine.
Lewis inside moving. Horley middle lane there with Dale Greenwood. I love what Dale's been doing. He's been sitting with Horley. He's just been watching what the two has been able to do and trying to replicate it every single chance he's gotten. Just wonder how long he's going to sit with them before he realizes he's got to make his own path.
Well, look behind him, Braden Mubbock to battle the McDonald's machines at 94 Mac tonight versus McVice. And they're sitting in the bottom half of the top 10. TCV behind them. You're seeing a lot of the players that played it safe, stayed in the back early on. They know they have to stay up front. They can't get shuffled out like they were earlier because time, even with 67 to go, is running out.
Ray slots in front of Frank Horley. Oh man, it was tight.
Very tight.
And Jua has got William Schmidt to the outside. They're 3 wide, 4 rows deep.
Lewis has it pretty safe. He can go wherever he wants. He wants to stick on that bottom, he can. If he wants to block any of the higher lines, he can. That Mountain Dew machine, one of the few tonight that's been able to be clear. Not anymore, though. Malik Ray in that middle line trying to get the push.
I don't think he's going to be able to get it from Horley way too far back. This should get Davis Lewis an opportunity to move to the middle if he wants it. But he's going to sit with Sean Conklin. Now, Conklin's had a couple cars already on his nose tonight. I don't know if you want to be slotted in with the 40.
I don't know if you do either, but it's what you're dealt at this point. Those are the cards you have, and the cards are saying that Malik Ray is going to get that push off the corner. Can't make much of it. Still, by the time they hit the line, going to be close. Lewis at the line.
He's got him inside. Malik Ray, middle lane, lined up. Top side, William Schmidt lined up with Drew Jua. Now lined up there with Corey Lyles. Lyles, another one that's been here for so long, but has yet to find an e-ticket title. I love that Mubbock has been able to find the TCB machine in the 25 because they're now slotted in the middle.
Yeah, and in the middle, it's a very strong line. A lot of these guys are very good pushers. Top side, though, has it for the moment. Schmidt with the lead over Lewis. Not going to last long. That 19 is strong on the bottom.
And you can see the help from Sean Conklin. He's just able to close so well to the back end of him. Now Ray is stuck with not a lot of places to run. He's got Frank Corley in the middle. He's got the 79 of William Schmidt on the outside. He's got Drew Jua, who's back on the scene. And Drew Jua's out for blood. He's going to do one thing today, and that's win an e-ticket event. Anything else is a complete disappointment.
Bring home the trophy or bring home the steering wheel. That's the mantra for that Monsters Inc. machine. And though you see a little bit of wiggling and wobbling through that bottom line, Schmidt keeping the lead up top. Malik Ray taking it away in the middle.
Oh man, Davis Lewis really waited for the arc to turn 3.
And it's worked for him. He is clear of the pack. Gets a little loose with that push on the 40 car, but Lewis has been really making some good moves, keeping that lead, or at least keeping in contention.
All eyes on the top side of the field. Here's the single file train. Zachary Truel all the way back to what looks to be the 7 machine of Douglas Newbigging. These are drivers well outside that top 20 range. You still have William Schmidt topside. You still have Malik Ray stuck in the middle, and Davis Lewis getting one heck of a heave for the 40.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing these pushes are getting more and more and more aggressive, and it's why you haven't really seen any line give up for too long. That high side that had so much trouble through speed weeks, they're keeping it up, and they're actually keeping it in contention, passing the middle lane.
Dodge, Chevy, Toyota, Davis Lewis, cha-ching. He's going to get this one I'm not surprised about the 94, Kevin Champagne on the bottom. I'm mostly surprised that the drivers sitting in lane 2 and lane 3 have not bailed out of the throttle and dropped way back to kind of reshuffle and regroup. They have stuck to their lane and they've stuck with the drivers at hand.
Lyles bails out though in his place. Mubik now jumps up to that high side. He's going to try and give the push to Jua. Bottom 2 lines now have the advantage. Actually, no, they're pretty much even with the top 3.
Watch William Schmidt. Bush to the inside of Davis Lewis, and Lewis has been bailed out every single time by good drafting partners. That's what some of the drivers talk about in the depth hour. If you can be an ally, if you can be a best friend to so many guys, you will go forward with them. But at the same time, if it comes down to 5 to go, 4 to go, 3 to go, 2 to go, and you need help, they may help you out because subconsciously they remembered you helping them out with 60 to go, with 70 to go, to 80 to go. I think right now, Davis Lewis and Sean Conklin have shown that they're going to work together. And Schmidt with Jua, that's going to be a combo. That's going to be one heck of a making late in the race.
That's a high-speed 207-mile-per-hour game of negotiations. And still negotiating that lead is Lewis. He's got it for now. Looks like Conklin's going to make the move to the high side. Eckert's going to push the 19 to the line really close. Conklin's got it.
Just barely. And that third lane is going to grow just a tad. Braden Mubik top end. He's not going to get any movement. He's going to have to fall all the way back to the TCB machine. Terrell Baker. Whoa, Davis Lewis. Nope, check that. That's Drew Jua. Jua into the outside wall, and he's going to lose maybe 6 or 7 positions.
That's the danger of that high side, is that you can be running up there in the top 5. Next thing you know, you're almost out of the top 20 with that damage in the wall. Only 2 cars in that high line, and that's going to move Schmidt way to the back.
So they'll shuffle again, and it's back to the 2x2 thundering down off turn number 4. Sean Conklin looked to be the laughing stock early in the race, and now he's leading with 59 laps to go in the NWP 400.
Over 100 laps in, you're seeing the dicing in the back of the pack up front, making moves as well. Conklin stays in that high side. He's got the push from Ray down low. Lewis getting the push from Eckert. Eckert hasn't been able to break that second row all race long. Lewis, though, getting a bit of a run, slowly inching his way up.
Let's talk about it. Is it going to be feeding time at some point? We've had a couple incidents tonight, but not a big one. Every wreck has seen scattered machines either litter the infield or hit the outside wall. But when does it happen? When does that big red button on the desk get pushed and everything ignites? Because so far, we're still looking at well over 40 drivers on the racing surface with not that many laps remaining. Yes, 58 laps to go. You have time, a whole lot of time, but in just about 30 minutes ago, it will be crunch time.
It will. And something else you got to look at here, too, is in about 8-9 laps, we're in the fuel window to the end of regulation. So whenever they pit, that could be their last pit stop of the night. If they got to pit before 50 to go, we're looking at a really, really interesting finish.
Gavin Austin has arrived back up inside the top 8. He's to the inside of the Dale Greenwood 33. The pace all of Speed Weeks has been really, really high. From the shootout to the duels, and now here in the main event, we are clocking these laps away. We're 2 hours just into this stream, and we're already talking about the finish to the 2024 NWP 400. Sean Conklin, Malik Ray, Davis Lewis, and Ethan Eckert. Oh my goodness, what a fairy tale story it would be if Ethan Eckert can get a win in the biggest e-ticket event.
You talked about the pace of this race. Over 181 miles per hour was the pace of all of the races combined on Thursday. Extremely fast day, and we're seeing something quite similar today with that. I mean, you're looking coming to 56 laps to go, just past the top of the hour. And Malik Ray, again, not giving up with a push from Horley, not going to get it yet at the line, but that 48 is showing his strength.
Riding on board, Braden Mubik. This is for the 14th position. He got shuffled out. He was one of those guys that wanted to make the third lane work again. But I think with these tires, they have definitely deteriorated in enough position where the third lane's not going to work as of this moment. Everyone's mindset is money stop. Money stop, money stop, money stop. Can I come to pit road without any mistakes? get off pit road without any mistakes and possibly get to the end with this race going green.
I see, oh, Muddick is stuck on that high side again. He had the run 21 of Tamer, went up to block. That's his prerogative. He can do that, but it really slowed that 42's momentum. And up front, Lewis now gonna get the advantage, whereas Drew Jua, the only one on that high side, no one going with. You just, like you said, John, you can't do it. The handling isn't there with these cars to make that high side work. As soon as you lose momentum, you lose all your positions.
Yeah, this is going to be money stop right here. Pit window is going to be officially open in just a handful of laps or so, maybe even now for some. But the idea is to get to 50 laps to go. Let's say they all pit with 50 to go. Guess what that means? Welcome to a fuel lottery e-ticket event. We've had them in the past. If they can get on and off pit road without any issues, it's going to be about who can save.
We had it in the duels. We saw where they were basically, some of them tried to stay out long, drive it slow, switch who was leading the draft. That's something that these drivers could really face. And even if they pit with less than 50 to go, even if they're right barely in that fuel window, we still could have an overtime, 2 overtimes, 3 overtimes. Maybe we'll reach Nashville, get 5 or 6.
Who knows? Now, the overtimes are enabled. We did check with the admins on that. That was actually a worry during countdown to green, but if we need the overtime finish, we will use it if necessary. Chevy, Dodge, that's the front row. Yeah, Malik Ray on the inside. David, no, check that. Lewis on the inside, Ray on the outside. But this pack is starting to really clump together because they know it's about to be the mass migration of pit road.
And interesting, just ahead of this pack as Malik Ray goes to the bottom, clearing that bottom line, is they're not coming up on just one lap car. They're coming up on, I think, 3 or 4 lap cars in a small group. That they can't just go to the apron in the corner or entering the corner. They have to stick in their draft. They're going pretty good speed out there. That's going to shuffle this pack up too, and we see it every time they get past a group like that. 1 or 2 of these lead guys get shuffled out, and it completely ruins the outlook on their race for the time being.
Frank Corley on the outside. He's going to lead that one. 52 to go. Jared, I think the speculation is right. 50 to go is when they're coming on in, at least maybe 49, because from what we're hearing, some drivers are wondering if they can go green the rest of the way in this race. There has been enough etiquette to go around that they're saying unless it just goes down with 5-10 laps to go, you have to really hone in on these final couple laps.
You really do, and that's what they're looking at. You're seeing towards the back, they've all migrated down to the bottom. Drew Jua stuck on the high side. Whatever happens, he's at the mercy of those 2 lines below him. All in this. Horley and Greenwood took the top 2 spots. That Miller High Life machine is rolling
quickly. Top side, now inside with Malik Ray. 51 laps to go. The big question of pit road is going to be who's stucking themselves 3 wide, should I say? I mean, Frank DeAngelis, if he's going to go to pit road, he's got to get to the bottom. He's not coming right away. Remember, he pitted on an earlier pit cycle, got his lap back due to a caution. He's back in the 18th position, so he had to fight all the way from the 40s up to the top 20. Does he pit this time? He's already been bowled before on the strategy.
You can't. You're too high up the track, and up the track is where these 2 lappers are at, the 8 and the 88. They just got to stay out of the way. Stay up on the high side, plaster it in the wall if you have to. Just stay out of their way. Mubbick taking them 4 wide. He thought better of it. Smart move by the 42. He could have made it past, maybe had an extra position, but was it worth it if you end up crash?
No, he laid off that throttle, and I mean quickly, now he got 2 in the wall. Kenny Reel lined in with the 88 machine. They have nailed the right side of their machines, and for Kenny Reel, it has been the no good, very bad day.
Yeah, but he stayed out of the way. Smart move in the grand scheme of things with less now than 50 to go. You see Jua looking to the bottom. You're seeing that bottom starting to kind of accordion up. You're seeing this front pack sort of, I'd say, organize almost. So any lap now, we could see him. Lyles takes the lead now. He's going to clear Greenwood. And there's Baker trying for his third E-ticket victory. The only driver left on the lead lap who has raced in every NWP 400 is going for the lead into 2.
And he's looking for his third. That's going to be huge to see. He got his first E-ticket at Daytona, the World 600. Backed it up with the Coca-Cola 600 in the number 24. Racing the number 25 down the backstretch. Ooh, man, Tamer was laying on that back bumper, but he'll lock in the race lead to the inside.
And Bubbick playing it smart. He had the option to try and shoot the middle. The hole closed up immediately. He got out of the gas. Smart driving.
Zachary True around and into the outside wall off turn 4. He'll collect 2 or 3 more machines. The caution will wave and we'll have a restart.
And if anyone was hoping for that fuel lottery to come up, I mean, you might go green to the end from here, or maybe have a green-white checker that pushes it, but fuel might be out of the question, and now they're just going all out. And again, might have had Dean Brummett involved. That was, what, his 4th incident he's been involved in tonight?
Yep. Yeah, you see the damage on the right side of the 07. He got wedged up into the outside wall, it looks like. Let's look back on what just unfolded. This is way, way towards the back half of the field. You see Xander McKinney having to jump through the grass. And you saw the silhouette down into turn 4. The one thing that made everything distinct was the red 28 number. Man, they all had to check up. I think it was for Zach Tondrev, and Brummett just ran right in the back end. Yaroslav Donskoy got collected in it. Adam Garza in the 15.
Very odd 4-car wreck.
We're going to watch back on it again. This time we're going to have to watch for the Zach Tondrev machine. Watch towards the front half of this field. It started very early. And Barbagala back there.
So Tondrev goes up a little bit. Might have been a handling issue. No. It was Chad Thornquist got loose, and everybody got out of the throttle. He got loose way ahead of that, and that's just a chain reaction.
Yeah, you saw it. A couple machines to the outside. Those are some names that you really want to talk about still with the Dean Brummett. The thing about Dean is he was able to capitalize off mistakes in the NWP 400. He won, but there hasn't been that many mistakes from the front runners. This is going to be go time right here. Pit road, it's going to be wide open.
Yeah, and I don't see a reason for anyone to stay out at this point. There's just no reason to me because it's going to be too hard to make up those spots. You're seeing some stay out, though. The majority of this field is pitting.
Jason Tamer's coming in. Kevin Champagne.
Frank DeAngelis didn't pit. He's staying out an extra lap.
Oh.
I don't know about that one.
He's banking on either another caution or maybe he thinks he has just enough to make it the rest of the way.
I mean, you're right on the edge at this point. Remember, they made it 49, 50 laps in the duels, but that was with one caution at the start of the first one. That was with a lot of saving.
Right.
And even then, some of those drivers ran out of fuel, so you're still right at the edge of that window. Hey, he's been making the right calls most of the night.
Yep. $46 laps to go in this event. There's Frank DeAngelis. He's down the backstretch, and the uncertainty of this race continues to fall. It was talked about in Countdown to Green. What is something that we could not be expecting that could happen? Well, the consistency has been interesting. I'll point it out like that. The consistency has been really good out of these drivers. He had a couple instances here and there, so hats off to them on that. I still think the fog is playing a big role in this because you just don't know what is next. We're looking back at the weather system, and they're saying that it could still be sticking around to the finish. It may be lightening up, but these guys have to realize it's going to sit here for quite some time. And if your car is ill handling in the conditions now, you have to make an adjustment.
Yeah, but at the same time, you can't lose any of that time.
Right.
You can't fall back a couple positions, because it's so important to be up front. We've heard it all week long. You have to be up front. It's the safest place. It's the place you're not going to get wrecked. Frank DeAngelis now going down pit road. He'll give up
he's
the
in
lead.
the extra lap situation just in case.
Yeah.
I like it, but I don't know. Man, it's still a lot of cars left on the racetrack. It could work with 20 cars left, but I'm looking at it right now. Who is left standing in this race? James Bomar is the only one out due to internet. 42 drivers still left driving. With 36 on the lead lap, Frank DeAngelis has got to take the elevator ride of a lifetime with 45 to go.
I don't know how you pass almost a car a lap with this. You're seeing him on the apron now, saving fuel.
It's going to be interesting to see what the call will be. So we'll do this. They're going to check the track. They're going to continue to look through things. We're going to bring it back. Mid-race analysis, 45 laps to go, Jarrett. I don't know how I feel about this, but do you see a race to the end?
I want to say yes.
I want to
really
say
do.
yes.
I really do, but we've seen the aggressive moves tonight. We've seen how they've hampered a lot of big, I guess, momentum moves that a lot of drivers have tried. They've proven it in the duels. They've proven these 45, 44, 43 lap runs that they can do it. But that was for a duel. That was for a shootout. That was for an LCQ. This is for the big prize. This is for the big race. And I think they're talented enough to. It's a matter of if desperation gets involved.
And that's going to be the big thing. Who gets desperate? We haven't seen any desperation. It's been textbook from lap 1 to where we are right now. And we still haven't seen the most out of Aaron Smith, who got in through single car qualifying. We still haven't seen the most out of Chad Thornquist, and we know we just saw him slide to the inside. But what about Dale Greenwood? He showed life. He was up there. What about Adam Garza? He showed life. He was up there. There's a lot of situations where things could change, so keep that in mind.
The one I'm looking at is Malik Ray. Malik Ray has been really, really strong up front. He's the one I think that, for me, has to be the favorite. Him and Braden Movick. The one that just do not overlook, Eckert.
Yes.
Eckert has been up there. He's been in the top 10, top 5 most of the night. You can't overlook him. He's been so strong. Going into this race, led the most laps in Speed Week, so the 18 is in the fight.
Let's try this once more as we get ready to go green. Checking things, looking through things. We'll be ready to go back underway. TCB is the big one you got to talk about. Forever, everyone said he's like our Richard Petty, the king at one point, and then all of a sudden turned away from being the king. He has the best odds, I think, tonight to win since maybe 2022, early 2022. It's been forever since Baker has been in the talking points of winning a title.
Yeah, I mean, that has to probably be, outside of maybe Talladega, the best he's run in the e-ticket in a long, long time.
So they'll try it once more as we'll load back into Daytona. I love these mid-race analysis. It gives us the opportunity to really engage with you guys back at home. But there's still a lot that we still don't know. That's the big thing. What do we not know? What have we not seen that's getting ready to take shape? Is there another situation that throws everyone for a loop, puts everyone in a bind? Or do we just go all the way green in tonight's NWP 400? Strategy, mistakes, fog, changing track conditions. It's all been laid out for you. It looks like we will be going green. Unfortunately, we did not get to see the green flag stops that some very much anticipated.
Yeah, but we've seen pretty much everything else.
Yeah.
We've seen 3-4 wide racing. We've seen strategy plays. We've seen great saves, big ones, you name it. And we still have what, John? 41, 42 still on the lead lap?
Yeah. A lot of drivers still with big opportunities to go to victory lane. Okay, let's hear it. Lights off. This time by, we're going to get the one to go here at Daytona. We'll be ready to go green flag racing. 31 laps remaining in this race.
Fuel saving a big aspect. These guys all riding on the banking, shutting the cars off. You're seeing strategy at full play.
Corey Lyles, Baker, Jua. And they continue to wait around. You can see that it is really darkened on the backstretch for a lot of these drivers. We get ready to try this all one more time. So we're going to get the one to go next time by here at Daytona, checking, looking over everything. Admin's doing a great job. They're looking over to see what the track conditions are like. We're hearing this should be a good to go run to the finish. So we'll get the one to go next time by. Next time by, we'll get the one to go. We'll line them back up and we'll try it again. Everyone waiting patiently to the end of this race. Shout out to all the super chats, all the memberships down in the chat below. We for sure will be answering and reading them all at the conclusion of this race. You are watching the 2024 NWP 400 live on the IDK Player YouTube channel. Fun time here at Daytona, and we are ready to rock and roll. Lights coming off this time by. It will be the one to go. Lined up. Ready to try it again. Braden Movick, he says he's ready to go. And I'm not surprised that he is one that really wants to go for it. Corey Lyles, Jason Tamer, TCB. Movick's not waiting. He wants to get at it. Frank Horley. It'd be huge for Horley to win because he has had 20 other opportunities to win an e-ticket since the first and has not been able to get it. Ready to go back green from Daytona. The one to go is displayed. Jarrett, what's next for some of these drivers?
Chaos.
What do you think?
Just go for it. I mean, that's where I think I'm at with it. You kind of got to go for it at this point.
Let's get ready to go back at it. Lyles, Movick, Baker, Tamer, all lined in 2x2. Movick and Lyles, 2x2. The pace car will make the hard left on the pit road, and we'll be ready to go back green. Braden Movick, 42. Corey Lyles, 56. We're back underway. Got the inside advantage. Lyles to the race lead. Baker in the 25. Jumps right to the back end.
Movick getting that push though on the high side. He's going to get the lead in 3, maybe for a moment. Bottom line gets the push again. You see him wiggling around once more.
Tamer, Frank Horley. Baker all over the back end of the yes it is, over the Corey Lyles machine. Gets to the line, he'll leave that. Now, it is 40 laps to go. For the ones that were wondering, we were looking to go ahead and get it all fixed up, and it very much has been. Caution. Kenny Reel may have spun on the front straightaway, and it will put us under the yellow again.
Odd caution there. Fog was messing us up a little bit when it came to what was going on. All good now, but kind of questioning what's up with this yellow. It's going to be a very odd one to look at unless it was just something that we didn't see way in the back here.
This may be, if it is a false caution, it will be a quickie yellow. Oh man,
nope.
What a hit.
Wasn't a false caution.
And that was Connor Trafari with the 26 machine of River Page. Now, we didn't see it coming.
No.
Man, remember we had this look up, who threw it?
Yeah, we're like, okay, who's trying to get themselves on the lead lap? And then we see a car hit the stratosphere.
That was Connor Trafari. He consistently has issues.
Oh, looks like a bumper lock.
Yaroslav Donskoy, and then here's the liftoff. Bang! Right side of the 41, Trafari gets there, lifts up and in the air and back on all fours, and it will bring the caution out.
Trying to do his best Corey LaJoie, Kyle Sieg impression. Caught some major air.
Man, I'm serious air. So this will reset the field once again. We were in some quick pace action. We're really getting it going. A couple of these cautions that have come out have really stopped the full pace of what this race is currently looking for. Let's announce it. It's dark out there on certain parts of the racetrack. From what we're hearing, we had to go ahead and check on the system just to make sure everything was good on the iRacing side for the betterment of the viewers watching back at home. From the look of the weather system, the fog will rotate around the racetrack. So at one point it will be down towards turn 1, then it will be down towards turn 3, turn 4, turn 2, and certain parts of the track will see the brightness of the day, or should we say the brightness of the lights under the night sky, versus others where it's very dark.
John, are you telling me that iRacing has vortex theory?
You know what?
Spinning.
It is going around, and that was one thing that we did get a message from some drivers where they were losing frames in turn 4 5 laps earlier. They then start losing frames in turn 2, and with there being a bunch of updates today, we realized we were in that same position, checking the system, making sure everything's good. Now we are good to go to see the checker flag. For the ones watching back at home, you're not going to have any more delays. But this is something that these guys may not have had the opportunity to. Some came down pit road to reset their car. That's what they did do because they realized they were struggling. But if this continues to happen, your car may be ill-handling off turn 2 at one point, then not ill-handling off turn 4.
Jeez, look at that darkness. You're seeing still some that are going down, even with these extra caution laps to the apron, saving fuel, turning the car off, just letting her coast.
Yeah, because they know that this race still could go the rest of the way. So we will get the one to go this time by, no doubt about it. It will be now 36 laps to go in the race.
I'll tell you what, John, if for anything else, this has probably been one of the most unique and odd e-ticket events ever.
You know, I think e-ticket events are going to give me gray hair. I'm going to be honest, because wow. Hey, but you can't say it's not entertaining. We had one e-ticket this year, Jared, that I think went overly smooth. The Florida 500. We ended and we went, wait, that's it? Did nothing else happen? Did nothing fall apart? What's going on here?
The monitor isn't on fire. Nothing's wrong.
The fog doesn't randomly come on in when it's clear as day out. You know, just you never know what is going to happen. But that's what keeps everyone coming back. Yeah, they always say in broadcasting, I'm going to break the fourth wall here. Give people a reason to tune in next week or into the next event. I think the drivers on the track do that themselves.
Yeah. And we're hitting it here, 37 laps to go. Braden Mubbock in the lead, 37 laps away from making history. But first three-time e-ticket winner possibility.
If he can do it.
Look who's behind him, though. Terrell Baker. He could do it, too. So there's a lot of possibilities ending this race. And there's so many who can get there first.
Time is ticking. Laps have faded. The final 37 laps in the 2024 NWP 400. Eckert, Lewis, Greenwood, Carr, they're outside that top 8. Malik Ray, William Schmidt, Frank Corley just outside the top 5. And the waiting continues. But oh boy, have things changed up big time.
It's changed up, but still, I think the mentality has to be the same. You just got to go. Loud pedal to the floor.
We're looking at the polls. 77% believe we're going to get a first-time winner. Do you agree? I don't. I still have my money on Kevin Champagne. That's not changing. I believe in Kevin Champagne.
I mean, my pick's up there in the 5th spot. Drew Jua, he's been strong, awfully strong tonight. Malik Ray, he's up there as well. So they could spoil the party for a lot of these multi-time winners.
Baker, Jason Tamer. Tamer was the big talking point in the summer of 23. Man, he's winning a lot of races. He could win an e-ticket one day. Didn't show out well for USA. Didn't show out well for California. Now here he is, looking down the barrel of his first e-ticket title, but he's got Braden Movick that's saying, I've done this twice. And Corey Lyles saying, who doesn't want a good sob, sunburst story under the lights at Daytona 36 ago. Movick top end finds his buddy right away. Baker will close to the back end of the 42.
And he is just laying on the back of that car, down on the bottom now. Top 2 trying to pull away. That's Horley in 4th, leading that high side.
Oh man, they're locked in and they're ready to go. Movick swings to the outside. Baker back on the bottom. That's with Corey Lyles. They go out of the fog and back into the lights. Chevy on Chevy, lined up. 2 rows in deep. You got a Dodge and Horley lined up on the outside as Baker takes the lead at lane 2.
But Lyles just muscled past him on the bottom, moved him up the track, gonna get the push from Tamer. They're now trying to get that push to the lead. Baker, Movick, they switch spots on the high line.
36, 35 laps to go. It's what you got now in the sprint to the finish. Drew Jua has put his chips in the middle. He's on the inside lane, 3 rows back. He still has Lewis, Ray, and Greenwood breathing down the neck. Here comes Corey Lyles on the inside off turn 2.
And here comes Kevin Champagne all by himself trying to make that 3rd line work. No one going with him. Lyles barely ahead of the 25. Baker trying to make that move. Can't get it done yet.
Kevin Champagne the wayside. He's going to have Michael Mitchum closing on in. And that's going to be a big helping hand. If Mitchum can get to that 94 and they can make hay, they're moving all the way back 3 wide for the top spot.
That top line, they can get there. They can get a nose out. Can they clear? That's the big question for this finish. You're looking at the momentum, and you're looking at these guys needing to position themselves. Only 34 laps to go. Do you stick on that high side? Try and get momentum off the corner, and that's how you win this race. This is what they're learning. Malik Ray jumps up to the top side, top line, getting a ton of momentum.
Oh, and huge heave. Look at just the all-star cast in lane 3. Ray, Kevin Champagne, Mitchum, put Douglas Newbigging. 2 of those drivers are towards the tail end of that line, but really helping out. 34, 33 laps to go. It's Baker at the line.
Hey, we talked about possible 3-time e-ticket winners moving up the pack now, back in 19th, but moving up. Thornquist up there, 3 wide for the race lead. Lyles gets out of that, just barely ahead. Near contact for Ray and Baker, but they're still charging forward. Low loose, 25 is really loose.
Locked in, still 3 wide, not a lot of changes. Malone to the outside. Jackson Carr goes top. McMalone peeking back to the bottom. It's still Baker stuck in the middle because Braden Movick is going to sit right with them. TCB is going to have to be bold and mirror driving if he wants to see victory lane.
He's clear for now. He can block where he wants. Not going to make the move. Malik Ray gets the run on the high side. 48 machine is moving and moving fast. Oh, Braden Movick to the bottom. He's going to make the move. 3 wide for the race lead. Gets the push from Lyles. He's going to take it with 32 laps left.
Easily. Can he clear top? Can't get it off turn 2. Baker is going to be sitting right with them, and it's 3 wide, all Chevrolets. 42 bottom, 25 middle. Malik Ray to the outside, still stuck 3 wide. Everyone clung together and keeping that throttle just massed to the ground.
And now he is clear. Braden Movick can go where he wants. This pack is oh so close throughout, but he's going to go to the middle. blocks Baker. Lyles now on the bottom, going to get the run underneath him. Malik Ray fading back a little bit, still well in contention.
Here we come, back up the banking of 1 and 2. Corey Lyles is driving the race of a lifetime. He's got Jason Tamer. He's got Davis Lewis. Throw the 18 machine of Ethan Eckert in line, and you realize a Pontiac could win any ticket event. Inside lane bails out. The middle lane shoves forward as there's still 3 wide for the race lead.
Keep in mind, Corey Lyles started 42nd in this event. He is now battling for the lead, has a nose out as the leader coming to 30 to go.
This is what you've come to see. The late Tuesday night, the summer blockbuster has 30 laps to the checkered flag. Muvik, 2-time e-ticket champion, versus TCB, another 2-time e-ticket champion, Malik Ray, the coach driver, and Kevin Champagne is waiting in the tall grass, saying it may be my time to shine.
Muvik, native of Minnesota, leads at the top. Now to the middle, from the bottom, he has the whole track to block, can't block them all. Malik Ray's gonna get the run. The bottom gets the run, the 42 is swallowed up.
Oh boy, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8 rows deep. That's 3 wide of racing. Lyles drifts up the track, loses the momentum on the bottom, hands it back to the 42 of Braden Muvik. Lane 2 is gonna be the way to go if it stays this way. Bulls flashing like crazy in the grandstands as they work their way with 29 to go.
And if you're in the back, if you're somebody like Frank DeAngelis who wanted to play it safe back there, there's nowhere to go. We're gridlocked through this pack. Yeah, maybe the 2 bottom lines get that run, 2 or so clear Malik Ray, but he always fires it back with a push from Kevin Champagne. He's going to get next to the 25. Muvik blocking the entire track.
At first it looked like the outside lane was going to have to bail out. That's not the case. It's still 6 rows deep of 3 wide action. The only one that can move and flex around is the 42 of Braden Muvik, who now picks up the 25 of Baker and sits in the middle lane. Clock is ticking. This is what we're seeing. We talked about weather systems and storms and just the way this race has gone down. There's one storm that's brewing with 28 laps to go as they're well within a second of each other for the top 25.
And you're seeing Muvik, now that it's clear, he's trying to control the lanes. Went to the bottom, blocked them, blocked the middle line. Heading out of the corner, goes down to the bottom, right past Jafari, the lap car. Muvik keeping the lead. This is probably the closest we've had to a dominant guy tonight who's been able to keep the lead over all 3 lines. He's going to go to the middle again. He's going to block the 25, coming to 27 to go.
That's what it comes down to. Chevy. Can the lone Pontiac defeat the big wigs of the manufacturers? You see Dominic Barbagallo in the 17. He starts to shuffle to the bottom. He's making up more ground, but the outside lane is starting to dissipate as the tires continue to bleed lap after lap. Here's Malik Ray. He runs back to the middle. He's going to lose the driving force from Kevin Champagne as him and Michael Mitchell will start tailing to the back end.
And I think Lyles has position on the 42 now. He's got underneath them. He's going to try and get a nose out to the lead. Middle lane starting to really bottleneck up. Top side trying to fight back. That's Malik Ray with Kevin Champagne. Too far back to make a move yet.
Oh, back to the line. 26 laps to go. Baker, 25, has been all over the back end of him, has avoided the top of the racetrack and the bottom of the racetrack as the 42 now goes inside. He's loved the middle lane, but Frank Horley is going to be one place. Right there and on the back end, look at Muvik just swaying back and forth. All the times of riding around like what we saw early in the race, out the door. It's now or never.
And he blocks the bottom again. Somebody making a move. That's Davis Lewis in the 19 goes up. Now Lyles kind of drifts up the track. Gonna slow those 2 lines over and by. And up to the middle. Muvik blocks again, keeping the lead. Pied Piper leads with 25 to go.
He's been the strongest driver all race long if he can just close it out. Yes, 26, 25 laps to go in this race, and there's still a lot that can change within that time period, but you can't look away from what was going on lap 30 to what is now 25 laps to go because it's still the 42 out front.
Not yet though. That 56 of Lyles, he's getting the push from Tamer. Just about dead even as they enter turn 3.
Beautiful shot. Down to the inside, you see drivers trying to work lanes. Some drivers trying to make other things work. And it's still Malik Ray on the wayside with the 94 of Kevin Champagne. What can Lyles do on the bottom with Tamer? I don't see Tamer shoving the 56 at all. This is a big issue right now between the 21 and the 56, because the 25 and the 42 have worked together perfectly. That inside lane will continue to bleed momentum until they get connected.
And Bucky's machine goes down to the bottom, getting out of the way. That's Christian Delgado. Top side, Mubik trying again to get that run. Can't do it. Lyles drifts up the track. Top three almost dead even under a blanket.
Now look at that. 3, 4, 5, 6, making it 7 to nearly 8 rows. Back to 3 wide action. They have turned it up. The worry about this aero package and the worry about how the racing quality will be has been thrown out the door, and it's all about who can win under the Daytona lights. Look at the middle lane. This is just a great middle lane right here. Mubik has gotten winning speed, has won here before. Baker, Horley, Drew Jua, they're in that same position. They've been so strong in times past. I think that middle lane will be the driving force of victory lane.
Well, but you got to also beat the other ones. And that top side, look at Douglas Newbigin. He has not been, I don't think we've said his name more than once tonight in the opening near 140 laps of this race. He's in 9th, 3rd on the high side, giving the push. Up front, Lyles, Mubik, almost even again. Mubik at the line, gonna lead that one.
And Malik Ray went to grab the right rear quarter panel of the 42, and guess what it did? It set the hook, and it drew him back just a tad. Now Baker's trying to keep the 48 of Malik Ray off the quarter panel, because he knows that's what's losing the speed. And you may be saying, well, what's the point of that? What's the worry behind that? You get Malik Ray out in front, it's going to be very tough to pass him. Same with Kevin Champagne. You don't want those guys to really be a worrying factor. They laid on each other. They give him the room back to 3 and 4.
And you see the one that helps the most is Lyles. He nearly clears the 42 because of the loss of momentum of those top 2 lanes. Mubik going to get the run back, coming to the line. If this was the finish, it'd be almost dead even. 21 laps to go. They're making more contact, getting really rough up front.
They're swaying back and forth. And then all of a sudden you start seeing the bailouts by Dale Greenwood. We saw William Schmidt check up just a tad. Josh Kenyon in the 27 has been way out of the throttle watching. He wants to see what happens in front of him so he has time to react. But I don't think there's going to be any reaction possible with how stuck they really are.
It's interesting now, Mubik can go to the bottom, blocks there, gets really squeezed tight for that second lane, and Malik Ray makes the move down there. He's to the middle now, right next to Braden Mubik, coming to 20 laps to go, 48, 42, 25, and all of them under a blanket, less than a second in the top 20.
Malik Ray was so good in the California 500. He almost had the strategy right, but it went away from him late after Steven Wilson grabbed his first e-ticket event win. Since then, he's been looking to find an event where he believed he can be the big factor in winning. Here he is, up front, with Baker behind him. Now Braden Mubik in front of him. 20 coming to 19 to go.
That bottom line has the push, and so does the top line. Kevin Champagne fighting back towards the top side. Braden Mubik trying to fight back to Lyles. Lyles leads off 4. Not going to last too long. That middle lane has the push to the line.
19 laps to go. Pontiac inside, Ford inside. Jason Tamer is trying to get Ford a big win, but Dodge has been one of the best manufacturers throughout all of Speed Weeks. They already have multiple e-ticket titles with Michael Gregory and Braden Mubik, but they want another one. No better place to get it than now. The only issue is they're tightening back up. Top 20, 7/10 the difference as they climb back to turn 3.
Yeah, and they are tightening up quick, and a very aggressive move from Braden Mubik shuts the door on Lyles. He's got a gap now between him and Malik Ray. He can go where he wants, goes to the middle to block Ray. Ray's gonna get the run, doesn't do anything with it.
Streaming back to the line, 18 to go. And I'm telling you right now, this is what they're feeling. Their heart is pounding through that chest. And they always say, whether it's in sim racing or it's racing on the high banks of Daytona like you'll have this Saturday, You need to control the heart rate because once it starts losing control, you will make mistakes. How many times have we come to the end of an e-ticket, we talked with Jarvis and they said, that was a mistake I should not have made. Ethan Eckert back into the 19. I think he's the one person that you need to watch because he's never been in this position with this much of stakes at hand.
And he wants to go, and he wants to go quick. He has been used to leading these packs, not being the fourth in line. That middle line, though, that is a potent line. You got the 42 of Mubbock. You got Ray. You've got Baker. Now Ray is going to bail on him. He's going to go to the high side, 3 wide for the lead again.
I think he wants to pick up Kevin Champagne. I think Champagne dialed up and said, are you going to leave me up here? Because we know we can work together well. And he's still got 3 guys behind that really will be the driving force to get forward. Corey Lyles is hoping this race goes green the rest of the way. So many heavy hitters sitting up front with the laps just going to the wayside, and you just wonder what could be next.
And depending on if that high side can get back or not, you wonder if you're Malik Ray, was that the right move?
Jason Tamer, he may have just blown an engine. Everyone goes to shuffle. No spins just yet. Everyone moves to the inside. Chad Hornish may have caught the grass, but for Jason Tamer, it's OUT out in the NWP 400.
16 to go. He is done up front. It's Mubbock. You hear the silence.
Now they're wrecking.
And we got to bring it out. They're all wrecking ahead.
And that was towards the back half of the field. The caution will wave. Man,
you saw the 19 almost go around in the front stretch. I'm wondering if that's him.
Look at the damage from Davis Lewis.
Yeah, I mean, he was almost around, and
he got lifted up.
Take a breath.
And Malik Ray is saying thank you because that's going to get him third. He will be the driving force on the inside lane. It looks like he'll be lining with Braden Lubbock. I don't see these guys coming to pit road at all, but let's go see what exactly happened. And you saw when Jason Tamer dropped back, it was definitely an engine issue. What is that, the second, maybe third one of the night?
I mean, he'd been laying the wood to the back of that 56 car, was not really getting any clean air on it.
Now, usually you would be able to see, yep, there's the smoke.
Yep.
Boiling out of the 21. Look at Ethan Eckert. Great heads-up move right here. Jumps to the inside. Chad Thornquist sees it. Heck, they almost went 5 wide because Drew Jewell wasn't going to give the 21 any room. And then you see the parts and pieces flying off. Davis Lewis, he had a blinking issue. He jumped to the inside with Dominic Barbagallo.
He had a few that run. That was, but you see how sideways that 19 car is. He saves it.
I think it was a little bit earlier with Trevor Huff.
He went to avoid the wreck on the bottom, and it's the rule. You can go under the yellow line.
Man, Kenny Reel, a huge hit to the safer barrier.
And this is another one of those chain reaction wrecks where you see, a save up front, maybe a slowdown, and everyone just sort of piles into each other trying to avoid that wreck.
The big thing is, unfortunately, you have to see what Trevor Huff was doing. Was he forced down there? Because if he was not forced down there, he caused a caution, and it could disqualify him from the race. He's on the outside. I know a lot's going on here. Yeah, he has time to bleed back up behind the 40. So he purposely went to the bottom. And that's a 4-wide move. He should be coming to the outside. And they said it in the driver's meeting. You are on the bottom. If you're below that yellow line, you do not have the right of way. I think Trevor Huff's getting an L5.
Yeah, I mean, that we say go under the yellow line at your own risk. If you want to, you can, but it will be dangerous. It is putting your race on the line, and if that person doesn't want to put you back onto the racetrack, doesn't want to be nice, they don't have to be. That's their real estate. They have that track position.
Reports that other things may have just unfolded. Ethan Eckert's on pit road. He may have wrecked under the caution flag. We're going to see exactly what, why, and how.
Lubbock's in pit road too. Did everybody pit? Or did a lot of them? Because Malik Ray is now the leader over Drew Jua.
Oh, man, he just drove right in the back of Michael Mitchum.
Are you serious?
Oh no, that is not how your race ends. That's heavy left front damage. That wheel is going to be clocked either one way or the other. Oh my.
What was his view? Like, how did that happen?
It couldn't be fog. You can see the car clearly in front of you. Everyone's been able to see pretty well.
Maybe see one more time what exactly happened, but it just, I'm trying to wrap my brain around how that happens.
So this would have been his view. And we're going to get the one to go.
So it looks like the top 11 stayed out.
Yeah. And that means some are worried about if they can make it to the end with a overtime finish. We are getting at L5. Trevor Huffey is out of the race. It's such a wild moment because there's a lot of things that were going on. I don't think he purposely went under there, but when you look back on the replay, you're below the yellow line. You have to merge back in. You can go down there, but if you cause a caution going down there, you will be put in a bad position. What happened there? Kenny Reel, part of the outside wall. Then he has to bring it back down pit road. So many of these other guys, you'll see it in a moment, but the Dutch Bros Coffee Ford will be out of this ticket. All right. 12 laps remaining. This is what it's going to come down to with a finish of the 4th NWP 400. Time to open it up. What are we looking at here with the lights off?
Jua, Malik Ray, they were 1-2 in their duel together. It was a duel between them in the literal sense. But you know what I'm looking at is Braden Movick. He went down pit road. He's restarting 12th, right? And he's got fresh tires. Against these guys who have more worn out tires, about 30 laps, give or take, on that run. He can make that high line hook up if somebody elects to go with him.
Yep. This atmosphere has been electric. But I don't see anyone letting off. Drew Jua, back in February, was in this position. Lost by a matter of inches. Malik Ray trying to do what he does best, and that's go to victory lane. 12 to go in the NWP 400. Ray out in front. Kevin Champagne slotted all over him. Oh, check up Corey Lyles. I don't think Corey got going the way he wanted.
No, he didn't. And you see, there's a little bit of a spin. But it's just a single car spin.
Oh my goodness, and there goes his race. Unless they get a caution, you'll see it here. Picked up by Jacob Malone. It wasn't enough to bring the caution out. We stay green. They're 3 wide for the top spot.
And look who is second in line on that high side. Braden Movick making the charge up. He's pushing Douglas Newbigging 3 wide for the race lead. Drew Jua's going to lead with 11 to go.
This is big. This is bold. Drew Jua, Douglas Newbigging all packed together. You know why they pit? They wanted the fresh tires for the 3rd lane, and it's working at turn 1.
It is working really well, really loose though, and that's going to give the edge to the bottom 2 lines. Jua, Ray, Horley now in 3rd on the bottom. That top side falling back.
But can they make it work? We've seen it work already in time, but it's going to really come down to turn 3. Movick's just laying on Douglas Newbigging.
Yeah, he needs to go. He knows that he has the better car out of them now. But again, that 7 he cannot lead that line, and you see it out the corner every time. Jua leads 10 to go.
If he can get clear just to that number 48 machine, he's going to be in a position where he can control multiple lanes.
There it is.
Does he go up? I'd say you got to go up now if you're going to do it.
That's what Movick did, and it gave him the lead for a good 5, 6, 7 laps. Ray going to go up to the top side. He's going to pick up that high line.
Frank Horley up the gut. In line with Kevin Champagne. Malik Ray thunders to the banking at turn 3.
Yeah, your friends are where you find them now. And if you're looking for someone to win their third E-ticket, yeah, we're looking at Mubik. Look at Thornquist up to the 7th spot up the middle.
Chad Thornquist in the Burger King Toyota has licked the stamp and has worked his way into the top 10. So many storylines, so many drivers with an opportunity, just 9 laps to go.
9 to go, and Jua again gets just barely out to the lead. He's clear for a moment, can't clear the middle line. Horley gonna get that run in that 2 car. Up top, Malik Ray with a huge push from New Bigging. He's gonna try and get the lead. Now Jua all of a sudden the one that's falling back.
It's unfortunate, but he just can't get the push there from Corey Lyles. And Lyles wants to go up there and push, but he saw what happened with Jason Tamer. He doesn't want that to happen to himself. He doesn't want an opportunity to just go bleak because he was trying to help another driver and help his lane.
Well, Jua made the block to the middle. Now he's going to be next to Ray down low. Lyles doesn't have what it takes yet to get underneath them. Jua can go where he wants. He's going to pick up that 56.
8 to go. All on the line from Jackson Carr to Michael Mitchum. Frank Horley, Drew Jua. Jua looking for his first E-ticket event win. Horley looking for his second.
And that top line falling away. Malik Ray is basically on his own with Douglas New Bigging. And now you even got Braden Mubik who's ditched it. Gavin Austin, he's joined this party up front.
Oh, Yaroslav off into the Jackson Carr 44. They keep it straight. A lot of turbulent air to the middle of this field. 7 to go.
Meanwhile, though, that tandem of Malik Ray and Douglas New Bigging, they're moving forward. Conklin's going to go up to that high side. It's just a constant shuffling, musical chairs at the front. Horley barely leading. Now Jua off the corner.
It's going to be big. It's going to be who can get what lane to move and how. Ray top cell. Man, he's with
clear.
Doug.
He's clear.
He can move to the bottom. He can make Doug with the move as well.
He's
waited too long.
He's going to stick up top. He's going to have the late block. It works, though.
Malik Ray has taken control of this event late. Jua's got company on the bottom with him, but not enough help. 6 to go at Daytona.
And still even for the lead now, Douglas New Bigging having the push from Conklin, really loose out of the tri-oval. He's got the lead into 1.
Now, Conklin has not gone away from the front of the field to the back of the field multiple times. He has taken this road trip, but now here he sits, he stands on the outside in row number 2. Can he shove New Bigging forward to lead the farthest most lane?
It's working for now. He's even with Malik Ray. Only maybe a few thousandths of a second between them down low. Drew Jua right with them. They're all under a blanket. You can just look all the way back. Half a second between the top 20 coming to 5 to go.
This is big. This is bold. Malik Ray has Frank Horley. Drew Jua has Corey Lyles. Can Douglas New Bigging get the shell from the Dodge? 5 to go. Crowd on their feet. Everyone watching back at home, wondering if Malik Ray can just hold on to see the checkered flag.
He was clear for a moment, but that 5 car gets the run. Noses out to the lead. Nobody can really take control of this race. Malik Ray backing up into the middle. Douglas New Bigging now. He's clear on the top side. Can't make the move yet. Oh, there's some movement in the back.
Shuffling swing. That was Comstock. But they're still hard on the throttle up front. Drew Jua to the inside. Can he clear? He does.
He's got a block, and he is right ahead of that 48 car. Everyone's loose as the pack has been really just straightened out a bunch. Up front, it's the 56 versus the 5.
4 to go. This is it. This is now. Barbagallo in 4th. Sean Conklin in 6th. Adam Garza, Chad Thornquist, Champagne, Frank DeAngelis, they have lost touch with lane 3 after the little bit of a scuffle. It's Pontiac leading on the bottom. It's Chevy leading in the middle. Corey Lyles will have help from Barbagallo. He has been able to hold on for the majority of this race. Now he needs to finish it.
Navigating 3 and 4 off the corner, 56-5. They're dead even. They make contact out of the corner. Not going to affect them much. Coming down the line, Drew Jua leads with 3 to go.
This is what it's come down to. He's got Malik Ray on the back end. He swipes the battle with Corey Lyles to the inside. Now runs the bottom of the racetrack.
with the 7 machine in New Bigging carrying momentum on the top. 3 wide still for the majority of the drivers off turn 2.
Jua's clear. He can make the move if he wants. Doesn't do it yet. Lyles looked up top for a moment, opening the door for Malik Ray to get a push from Horley in the middle.
And can Frank Horley shove Ray out far enough so he can get cleared? He may have a shot at New Bigging, but I don't think he wants to go that way. Now Douglas New Bigging the run off the outside. Contact. Swaying, 1 shot from Eckert, 2 to go from Daytona.
About 5 miles left, and Drew Jua has the lead. 5 miles from redemption from this past February, but he's got to beat Malik Ray. Ray in the middle, barely keeps the lead over the 5 car. Nobody's going to be clear off of 2.
I'm telling you, if they get back to the white flag, this race will be official. All eyes on what's going on up front at Daytona. This is what you want to see. 3 wide, shuffling, now stuck in the middle goes some, to 3 and 4. New Bigging, a heck of a drive on the outside.
Coming down out of 4, the 5 car has the advantage for a moment. New Bigging with the run up top. They're going to be 3 wide, even coming to the white.
This race is going to be official. Salamanca, 1 to go from Daytona, 1 to go in the NWP 400.
You got to figure out, do you block or stick with your partner? Horley almost ditches Ray. Ray goes down with them. Side by side out of 2 with Douglas New Bigging.
He needs help from the silver bullet on the outside. He's not going to get it off turn 2. Ray blocks the middle. He's looking for her on the bottom. It's Malik Ray the advantage to turn 3.
Horley tries making another move. Goes to the bottom. Contact. He is sent. Pack goes flying. It's going to be a battle between Ray and Jua.
Malik Ray off turn number 4. Will see the checkered flag. He will win this race. Malik Ray wins the 2024 NWP 400.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
That will be our 18th e-ticket winner.
And it started with the big one down off turn number 3 that the whole pack just got collected in. Unreal. Braden Movick, William Schmidt. They will see it, they will come back around, but Malik Ray will win at the line. Insane.
Absolutely nuts.
And we'll burn it down at the start-finish line. And our night in America, fueling victories all year long. And it started with just that one wreck down off turn 3. And they weren't going to make it in the line with how they were racing. It was going to be all or nothing.
I mean, we saw it where the 2 just got sent. And from there, it was just ping-ponging.
A wild race with a wild finish. And there is the unofficial results on the left side of your screen. Malik Ray, William Schmidt, Braden Movick, Zachary Truhl. And that's how it all ended. Well, we'll watch back on it.
We can breathe again.
Malik Ray will see victory lane. First e-ticket win ever. And it got wild. There was no overtime attack. You see Frank Horley, when he made the move 3 wide, there's really nowhere else to go with Drew Jua. Let's go talk to the driver number 48. Unbelievable. Malik Ray, race winner. We wait for him to join the group chat. We wait for him to join the Discord. And we're looking to see how this one ended. Watch Frank Corley in the number 2.
I mean, they're all on top of each other here at the end. He tries making the move low. Ray blocks it. Oh, the 40. Conklin got into the 94. Jua gets into it. That's what sent the 2, and there's just nowhere to go at that point. Takes out the 7. Jua looked almost clear, but he got hit by the 56 a little bit. Unbelievable.
And there's just nowhere to go. Malik Ray, it's a John. Congratulations.
Hey man, how you doing? I appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
Well, we knew it was going to be bold. We knew it was going to be wild. But you were there when it mattered the most. Walk me through it.
I just try to keep my nose clean the whole race. I didn't try to really pass anyone until after lap 70. I was working with Drew. I was working with Frank there at the end. If it wasn't for those two, I don't think I would have been able to stay in the middle like how I was. So they helped me out a lot.
Well, the third lane, it started moving. Do you know why some of those drivers came to pit road? Because it puts you in position. And here you are, coming off turn number 3. You had the opportunity at hand. It was there. And once they started wrecking, you were just really the only one that got through it.
Yeah, man. I knew why they pitted. I guess they thought that everyone was just going to leave open the top. And I knew as soon as we got 3x3, I knew it was curtains for them then. As long as the 7 and the 40, as long as they never came down from the top of the track, I mean, they couldn't go anywhere, even if they tried. So
wow. And they were stuck 3 wide. You had Horley behind you. You knew Frank Horley was going to be a driving force. When did you expect the move?
Heading into turn 1, I knew if he was clear down the back straightaway that he was going to try to go middle, and he did. And then he tried to go low heading into turn 3, and I obviously blocked. And then everything up top, I don't know what happened on the outside, but they all crashed, and I was able to just barely squeak through it. So,
well, it made you look really good out there. I'll say that. The side drafting was tough too, but how about these viewers back at home? Well over 1,000 concurrent watching at the end. What do you have to say to them?
I appreciate y'all, boys. I appreciate all y'all. Shout out to Carlos Truther. I appreciate him the most.
Wow. We kind of saw that one coming. we okay. Well, I mean, are you good friends with him by chance?
I actually just learned of him a few days ago. But he already knew who I was prior to him. But yeah, I'd say he's a solid dude.
Wow. The fog. Let's talk about that. Did you see that coming?
Oh man, I couldn't see, man. I could barely see heading down into turn 3.
Wow.
I had to like go in my settings and then like turn off the sky so I could be able to see.
No way. Wow.
Bad, man.
Well, no matter what, you're able to get through. Congratulations on the win.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you.
That was Malik Ray, the winner of the 2024 NWP 400. And we're with the driver who finished third. That's Braden Mulvick.
Oh my god, this is gonna haunt me for a while.
Is it?
This is gonna haunt me forever. I had this race.
I think we're starting to lose him. William Schmidt is with us as well. This is the top three. The drivers finishing second and third. You saw that big wreck, but it was all over from there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Schmidt, you go first.
I mean, I don't know what to say. I was 15th going into turn 3, and I left in second, so I don't know what I could say. I guess redemption from last year. I should have got second last year, got second this year, but still no prize money, still no first place. Still kind of hurts, but you know, Malik put up a good race. Congrats to him, but yeah, man, second hurts.
Wow. You're right there when it did matter the most. And this race had so many changes. What was it from a driver standpoint?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy from a handling perspective because, I mean, there were some people who were playing out the car getting really, really tight, which was causing a lot of checkups, and I'm surprised it didn't really cause that much of an issue during the race. I thought that would cause a couple wrecks, but I guess with the way the contact was with the rear end, it was a little less lethal this time around. But yeah, just I don't know if the last lap was a handling thing. I haven't looked at the replay or not, but I know people are jockeying for positions and a whole lot of shuffling is going around. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy to get second. Still not first, but you know, second's all right.
And second was what you got. Congratulations on a good finish, Braden Movick. Final thoughts? He's got nothing. This is the quietest we've seen an e-ticket interview for so many. It just did. Some did not see it coming. Others did see it coming.
I am hurting big time, bro.
Wow.
John, Terrell and I were lights out that second half. That
insane.
We were lights out.
And then he made the mistake. I mean, you saw it.
Coming to the
I think we lost him. I think we lost Braden Movick. He is lagging up a storm over there, but that will do that. A lot of systems were put on the back burner today, and unfortunately for them, they would not see the checkered flag. Congratulations, that was the top three. Let's go through the rundown, Jarrett, and then we'll have our final thoughts. Wow. Interesting night, interesting race. Malik Ray wins his first e-ticket event. William Schmidt, Braden Movick, Zachary Truel, with Connor Trafari, Xander McKinney, Jaden Reyna, Jason Tamer, River Page, Jackson Carr.
Yeah, thinking might be unofficial, but field got shuffled up there at the end.
Yeah, this all could very much be unofficial. Continue to look at scoring and data, see what it says. Skylar Comstock, Michael Mitchum, Chad Hornsdale, Greenwood, Adam Garza, Frank DeAngelis, Zach Todriff, Chad Thurnquist, Frank Corley, Yaroslav Donskoy, Jacob Malone, Dean Brummett, Ethan Ecker, Kevin Champagne, Kenny Reel, James Yusa, Aaron Smith, with Gavin Gomez, Davis Lewis, and Drew Chua. And rounding it out, Gavin Austin, Corey Lyles, Lane Sanders, Sean Conklin, Josh Kenyon, Douglas Newbigging, Dominic Barbagallo, Terrell Baker, with Christian Delgado, Nathan Dew, Daniel Mosteller, Trevor Huff, James Wilmar. That top 43.
I think we were expecting to see that final three.
No, I don't think very many were able to see what that possibly would have turned into, but that is how the finish lined up. Final thoughts?
I mean, we knew it'd be wild. We saw stuff we'd never seen before. I really didn't think we were going to have a fog race.
No.
But this is what you expect. This event has been different every single year, and it'll be different every single year after.
Yeah, and the event wasn't even set up as a fog race. For the ones that are wondering back at home, it was fully set up for the beautiful lights glowing on the cars. Well, somehow that was the way it was. At the end of the day, you never know what to expect when you're racing on iRacing, including for an e-ticket event. We've seen it multiple times before, and we've seen it here tonight. Well, it was fun.
It was.
I'll give it that. It was a lot of fun.
And we're going to have fun tomorrow night. We'll be on Danny B Talks channel for NWP, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Come join us on that one. And I think it's like, what, 400 likes, and I think we get Random Driver of the Week. So
oh, there you go.
Already be ready.
Already be ready. I'm John Ramos alongside Jarrett Lumberg. This will do it for the 4th annual NWP 400.